because he likes good Budweiser, of course. And yeah, I said, do you guys get the Budweiser? Can you get the Budweiser shot? And he says, I don't know. I said, well, you got to try that.
They don't taste any better. They just got more alcohol, George.
Oh, that's like a good dinner right there.
And Ron was right earlier. Your signal or your audio or something's kind of flaky there tonight.
Yeah, I don't understand why. I don't know. I have no idea. It was good yesterday, last night. It was good. And I don't know what's going on with it today. I have no idea.
Well, I just checked you on reverse and you sound fine. Nothing wrong with it on reverse, so... Yeah, strange.
I don't like it. No, sir. I don't like it.
Okay, then let me jump in for a second there. This is Victor Alpha 3, Victor Alpha Delta, with the COVID-19 ARS lockdown. This net meets here every day at 7 o'clock, and it's 7:02 right now, so I guess it's time to start the net. And we'll be using the VE3ZOE Repeater tonight, 443.075. No tone required. And of course, we are broadcasting on YouTube as well, YouTube Live. If you would like to see us on YouTube Live, just go to YouTube, search Victor Alpha 3, Victor Alpha Delta, space. Make sure you put the space in 718, 718th day of the COVID-19 lockdown. All right, let's go for time-sensitive or mobile stations. Do we have any time-sensitive or mobile stations who would like to check in? Please go ahead.
Papa Delta Lima.
PBS, sir, address my reading.
Okay, I heard Paul there. I didn't hear the second station. Who was the second station?
VE3 PRS. That's a frog my throat. I'm reading the newest QST.
Okay, PRS, all right. Okay, Paul, please go ahead.
Very good, Arpad. Just wanted to jump in there before the number nonsense and all that good stuff. No sense repeating myself every day. Anyways, quick bean for the pot, and I'll chime in again later on. VE3 PDL, back over to you, sir.
All right, thank you very much, Paul. You're coming in with an S9. Yeah, you're doing a good job. And yeah, you made that comment about George's, how he comes through the repeater. That's the little phase distortion that coming from the mountain. It's a reflection coming back. So the two signals are mixing a little bit because the time delay. That's what it is. That means probably we have good conditions, or maybe the snow is doing something. You know, who knows? Who knows? We'll see. We'll see other people's signal. And Peter, please go ahead.
Yeah, VE3 PRS. Yeah, we're just reading the having sparkling water, listening to the net. Back to you.
All right, Peter, thank you very much. You're coming in with an S7. I can hear you much better. You were a little bit weak on the repeater earlier, but you are perfectly fine now on reverse as well. Thank you very much for your check-in. Do we have any time-sensitive or mobile stations who would like to check into the COVID-19 ARS lockdown net? Please go ahead.
VE3 FED mobile.
VE3 FED mobile, please go ahead.
Hey, good evening, Arpad. Yep, I'm way out on the east side of Mississauga. And no traffic at this time. Just want to give a check mark for the book. Thanks for doing the net. 7-3 from VE3 FED mobile.
Okay, I can hear you with about 2 bars or so. Thank you very much for your check-in in the mobile, and yeah, we could able to make a contact on reverse. And thank you very much, Gene, to check into the net. This is Victor Alpha 3, Victor Alpha Delta. Do we have any new stations anywhere who would like to check in? Please go ahead.
VE3ZOE.
Hello, Gary. Good evening to you. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, RPAD. And first thing I want to mention to you is that go to 162.550. You can hear multi-phasing stations coming in there. So the conditions are probably going to be pretty good for DXing.
Yeah, probably something to do with the snow or the wet soil or something. I'm just guessing, you know, when the soil is wet or the rocks or whatnot, they're reflecting the radio waves a little bit better, and that's what George. Yeah, the signal distortions between George is coming in perfectly fine. The way how he comes into the repeaters, probably the repeater hears that little phase distortion. So that's when he's doing a good job and reflecting some radio waves.
Yeah, I went over to 162.550 there, and you hear the multiple stations coming in there. So the bands are open VHF, and UHF will probably be the same there. But anyway, RPAD, I do have some numbers for you there.
Okay, Gary, go ahead, please.
Okay, good evening to everybody on net. This is Friday, March the 11th. This is net number 718 of COVID Areas Lockdown Net. In Ontario, we had 2,130 cases, and right now 0 deaths, but they're going to a new counting system. In Ontario, we had 1,121,694 cases since day one. 1,093,499 cases resolved. 12,227 deaths. Hamilton had 122 cases. Halton had 82. Niagara had 91. Brant had 20. And Haldeman 20. Toronto had 304. London had 85. Windsor had 87. Waterloo 53. Let's look at the Toronto area again. And this is sort of, this tells a little story of what's happening, really. Look, Toronto had 304. Peel had 119. York 104. And Durham 135. And if we look back in this week, there were some low numbers there between 80 and 70. And we see that all these numbers are over 100. So the virus is still out there. The virus is still out there, and people are catching it there. So please, make sure you wear your mask. Please, keep that distance 2-meter rule. Please, wash your hands. And if you haven't been vaccinated, get vaccinated. But we can see with the Toronto area there, those numbers are rising a bit. And once they open everything else, I suspect they will rise up a little bit higher. VE3ZOE.
All right, Gary, thank you very much for those numbers, and thanks for all that information. Thank you for your time to research them. And I do have some numbers as well. Canada-wide reported in the past 24 hours, Canada-wide again, 5,006 new cases and 53 people passed away of COVID-19. And interestingly, there are a few provinces who are regularly not reporting, and that would be Saskatchewan, Newfoundland, Labrador, Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island, and Nunavut. None of them reported today again. And I'm just looking at my log here. Saskatchewan, Newfoundland, and Nova Scotia, they did not report all this week. So I would like to know what's happening there. Last week, in Nova Scotia, they had high numbers, and this week we are into the weekend already, and it's Friday, and we did not hear them any reports. So I'm wondering what's going on in Nova Scotia. Why are they not reporting for all week now?
They stopped being sheeple.
Pick them up and ask them that question. So I don't know if these numbers, the 5,000 numbers, are accurate or not. Then, if like 5 provinces are not reporting. So anything else, Gary?
Yeah, well, it's interesting that other provinces are reporting, but it's we'll have to ask people. Well, I actually you go on the Nova Scotia Health Department website and probably see what the numbers are there. But anyway, we'll see what happens here, Arpad, and let's just hope. You know, like I said, just with Toronto alone, we see some fluctuation there, and let's just hope that they continue going down. But we will see some fluctuation up and down, and that's what we're seeing in Toronto with the numbers there. But anyway, let's just hope for the best, and we need some hot temperatures to burn some of this off too. VE3ZOE.
Yeah, well, I guess we're going to have to deal with the snow. Do you have any snow reports for us? Did you have any information? Is the snow what's coming down? It's coming down a little bit. Is that going to be, because we're supposed to have snow tomorrow, not today?
Well, we're supposed to have snow today, and it's supposed to stop at 9 o'clock, and then we're just supposed to get a little bit of dusting there. So we'll see what happens there. You know, it is winter there. I wish we had one more downfall of snow because I want to take my granddaughter tobogganing there, eh?
Oh, yeah, definitely, yeah. All right. Hey, go up to Sudbury. Take off for the weekend and spend a nice night in a motel somewhere. Hotel 8 in Sudbury. It's a nice place. They charge only $125 a night, so, yeah. Those places, they charge more in the winter time than in the summer, I believe. And, find a nice hill up there. Not too close to Inco because, you don't want to infect your grandchildren. All right, Gary, thank you very much for your check-in. You're doing a good job. S5 on reverse, and I am not hearing that phasing what I'm hearing on George today. So you're doing a good job. And thank you very much, Gary. And let's see.
VE3ZOE.
Would like to check into the COVID-19 ARS log.net. Please go ahead.
One more message there, Arpad.
Go ahead, Gary.
Okay, I want to just remind everybody, this is the weekend that we spring ahead with the time. So a Sunday at 2 a.m. there, put your clocks ahead, or put them ahead before you go to bed, and that's an hour ahead. So anyway, this is the weekend, and hopefully everybody can get the right time. VE3ZOE.
All right, I'm going to put my clock on my head. That's how I'm going to go to bed. Yeah, just make sure I'm not going to break the clock. All right, thank you, Gary. Yeah, if somebody has a complicated watch or whatnot, go see the watchman. They're making good money twice a year. People are coming in, they charge $20 to reset the watch for them. Okay, this is Victor Alpha 3, Victor Alpha Delta with the COVID-19 ARS log.net. Do we have any news stations anywhere who would like to check in? Please go ahead.
Watches, clocks, cell phones, and computers change the time automatically.
Victor Alpha 3, Charlie, Juliet, Zulu.
I don't know what kind of watches you guys have. I have a cheap watch made in Switzerland. It's all manual and everything. And I guess the Swiss man forgot to put the time-changing mechanism into it. Hey, Chuck, go ahead, please.
Hey, good evening there, Arpad, and everyone on frequency. Victor Alpha 3, Charlie, Juliet, Zulu. Chuck in the east end of Hamilton. And once we start on Monday, we should be seeing degrees on the plus side there, +9. And then Wednesday, they're saying up to 15. So things are looking good there. And I heard on the news that CH has a beer that they're selling starting today from the Lake of Bays Brewing Company. The beer is called CHCH Top Story High Def Pilsner. So if anything, it'd be nice to have as a collector's item, I think, because there's just a limited amount that they made. So you beer drinkers or collectors, go ahead to the beer store, get your CHCH Top Story Coming at you with 2 watts tonight there, Arpad. And we are also streaming live on YouTube at this end as well. Thought we'd switch it up a little bit there tonight. So anybody just go to my YouTube feed and you can see my my output there, live stream. Other than that, Arpad, hopefully things are looking good for the HF conditions on the weekend. Really nice conditions there lately. So, all right, that's it for me. We'll send it back to you, sir.
All right, Chuck, thank you very much. And actually, your signal is quite interesting because I can't decide if it's 9 or 15. It spends about 50% on each time. It goes up to 15, stays there for a while, then drops down to 9, stays there for a while, then it goes up to 15. So it's right between 9 and 15. I marked you down as 15 because that was the strongest signal. And yeah, looks like we do have good conditions, and that 2 watt is doing a good job. Anything else in it?
All right, Arpad, we pumped it all the way up to 5 watts now, so we'll probably give you a steady 15 this time. Other than that, yeah, everybody look out for the Sunday Heritage Classic hockey game at Tim Hortons Field. That'll be the Toronto Maple Leafs against the Buffalo Sabres this Sunday. All right, have a good weekend, everyone. VE3ZOE, back to net control.
Yeah, very good. The 5 watt is doing the S15, never changed. Yeah, you know what? Audio wise, I can't tell. It's sounding exactly the same. It's just the meter is receiving your signal a little bit lower. But yeah, good test. And thank you very much for your check-in. And beer, yeah, I guess they have to make some money somehow, right? I don't know. It sounds like to me. Beer called CHCH. It sounds like to me they can't find a name. Maybe they should go to the kindergarten and ask some children what would be the best beer name. I think they would come up with a better idea than CHCH. All right, Chuck. Thank you very much. Do you have anything else?
No, that's it for now. We'll listen along, and if there is something, we'll jump right in there. Thanks, Arpad.
All right, then. Thank you very much for your check-in. And this is Victor Alpha 3, Victor Alpha Delta with the COVID-19 ARS log.net. Do we have any news stations anywhere who would like to check in and say hello? Please go ahead.
Victor Echo 3, Romeo Mike.
Okay, I believe it was a perfect double, and I did hear Ron quite clearly. And who was the other station?
VE3 BMO.
Ah.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, Pierre, you're giving me a plus 50, and Ron can beat you through the repeater. I don't know, man. That antenna is pointing right at me. You should point it right up to the repeater. Yeah. I guess you just want to have a better reverse signal. All right. Ron, please go ahead.
Good evening to you and all on frequency. Just a reminder that Saturday we have to lose an hour's sleep because of the time for the time change. So just a reminder for that. Other than that, nothing really new to add. Just a beam for the pot.
All right, Ron, thank you very much. You're coming in with an S4 on reverse, and you are doing a good job. And yeah, you were stronger to the repeater than Pierre. So yeah, you must be, it helps you a little bit when you are on the top of the mountain. Do you have anything else to add?
Nope, nothing else. Back to you.
All right, and let's bring in Pierre, and I'm going to check you on reverse. Please go ahead.
Yeah, it's probably because I'm not doing a S50 there, Arpad. Probably what's going on.
Well, you're doing S40, 40. You're going to have to go outside and clean that antenna. Probably all the snow on it and everything, and it's not pointing to the right direction.
I think I got it going on now, though, if you want to have another gander there at your meter.
Yeah, I told you to clean off the snow. What did you do?
Went from low power to high power.
Okay, yeah, it doesn't make much difference, yeah. 40 on low power, high power is 50, so yeah, and you're doing a good job anyway, so yeah, that's good. And yeah, the repeater is a little bit farther, and probably you don't have a full line of sight to the repeater, so you have to bend the signal a little bit. That's why run was a little bit stronger. Yeah, but that was interesting because both of you guys came in exactly at the same time, and I heard Ron clearly, and I didn't hear you at all. So yeah, makes a huge difference. Ron probably can see the repeater.
That's a good possibility. But anyways, nothing else to add there, Arpad. Trying out my power level, I guess. Back to you and carry on. Thanks for doing the net. VE3ZOE.
All right, thank you very much, and do appreciate your check-in. You're doing a good job all the time. This is Victor Alpha 3, Victor Alpha Delta with the COVID-19 ARSlog.net. Do we have any new stations anywhere who would like to check in, try out the radio, or just say hello? Please go ahead.
VE3 LBI.
Victor Alpha 3, Foxtrot Golf Tango.
Victor Alpha 3, India Mike Whiskey.
Victor Alpha 3, X-Ray Lima Mike.
Okay, I had LBI with a double. I believe the double was George, Greg, Mark, and XLM. Let's start with Larry. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Arpad. Thanks for doing the net. Hello, everybody on the net. Probably run the ZOE Reg 2 there about 8:15 tonight. So that's if you're done, Arpad. Again, no rush, but I figure it gives everybody lots of time to check into other nets around 8 o'clock. How's the signal down there tonight? I figure, no, I still figure 15.
Yeah, it is 15. Yeah, you didn't make it to the S20. That's because the snow and whatnot. I don't know if it's still snowing. But yeah, I was worrying a little bit. I looked at the trees and all the snow and ice or whatever gets stuck right on the wet snow. I would say wet snow gets stuck on the trees and whatnot. And yeah, we have to keep the ice on it. The temperature was, when we started the net, at plus 0.5 degrees. And let me check now. Yeah, it's minus 0.4 right now. So we are hovering right at the freezing mark, and hopefully it's not going to be too much ice build up on the trees, so we would lose some power. Yep, good job, Larry. S15. Anything else?
Well, I was just going to say it must be the higher altitude up here because we're actually 35 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's almost, I wouldn't say a rain, but a very wet snow. And yes, you're right. It is sticking to a lot of the trees.
Yeah, yeah. What I noticed when you go out to the, when you drive around, Hydro doesn't take care of the trees that much anymore. I don't know if it's a manpower issue or whatnot, or maybe they don't have time. But they should be cutting the trees down around the power lines, especially before the winter. Yeah, that's the one what's causing the most problems. Thank you very much, Larry. And George, please go ahead.
Okay, hold on one. I got really nothing to add, just throwing a bean in the pot.
Okay, yeah, it sounds like you are in the washroom and you're having some issues, so that's okay. I'm going to leave you. If you want to check back later on, you can do that, no problem. And let's see, Greg from Simcoe, Grandpa, please go ahead.
Good evening, Arpad, and everybody on the net there. Hope everybody's doing well. Yeah, snowing out here, big flakes. Sticking to the ground, the trees, everything out here. We've got probably about an inch on the ground so far out here, so. And they're expecting it to drop in temperature tonight, so. Everybody have fun driving, so. Other than that, baby girl's doing good. She's smiling and back up to her birth weight again, so she's well on her way.
There we go. Other than that, nothing much more to add to the net tonight there, Arpad, and thanks for doing it. You're doing a good job, and we'll let it go back to you. VA3FGT out here in Simcoe.
Okay, Greg, thank you very much. You are doing a good job from Simcoe, and there's a very, very, very slight noise. I wouldn't worry too much about that, but yeah, you're coming in loud and clear to the repeater. And yeah, good luck with the little smiling baby there. So yeah, you are a lucky grandpa, that's for sure. Thank you very much. And Mark, go ahead, please.
Good evening, Arpad, and everybody on frequency. Waving a hand to Greg as well, Grandpa Greg. Glad that you're enjoying things. I'm always reminded that I was told that when babies smile, it's just gas bubbles, but it's a good chance to hand them off before there's a mess. Anyways, yeah, we'll be sticking around, and I guess Larry will start up the rag chew when the COVID net's over, and then yeah, I'll probably pop up to say hi to Richard or whoever's running the net on the Sky Repeater at 8 o'clock. So that's a good reminder for you as well, Arpad. Anyway, signal's fairly good tonight, surprisingly. It was kind of strange that when George was buzzing in there with his initial transmissions, I was actually getting the repeater at plus 60 over, and it's like 10 dB stronger than what it usually comes in at. So not sure how that occurs, but conditions are fairly decent tonight. Back to you, sir.
Well, I guess we had some rain and snow and whatnot, and maybe some of the rain got into the coax cables and gives you a better connection to the antenna. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, a good signal, and yeah, actually, the signals are not bad. Your signal is an S7. Sometimes jumps up to S8 just for a short time, then goes back to S7. So it's a strong S7. It's right between 7 and 8, I would say. Very good, Mark. And do you have anything else?
No, that's it for now. Just going to carry on and listen for a bit, and if there's anything of interest, I'll get back to you. Thanks for doing what you're doing, and 7-3s.
All right. Thank you very much, and do appreciate it, Mark. This is Victor Alpha 3, Victor Alpha Delta. Oh, sorry, Greg, I almost missed you from Bimbrook. Go ahead. Yeah, that would be like the triple X grandpa.
Thanks, Arpad, and hello to everyone on frequency this evening. Nothing new to report. Getting the same weather as everybody else. Weather forecast next week looks better. I'll be sitting here listening for a little while anyway. 7-3 to everybody.
All right, Greg, thank you very much. Oh, you know what? I forgot to check your reverse, so you have no choice. You have to give me one more transmission if you don't mind.
Of course I don't mind. There you go. You should have enough by now. I'll bet I'm not even hitting one.
Yeah, actually, I can hear your voice. Somebody's talking in the background. I cannot make you out. You're not giving me any signals or anything like that. So, but the disturbance is there, so I'm almost making you out. But not quite. Very close to it, though. All right. Do you have anything else to add?
Nothing else to add, Arpad. Thank you for running the net. VA3XLM monitoring.
All right. Thank you very much. This is Victor Alpha 3, Victor Alpha Delta with the COVID-19 ARS log.net. Do we have any news stations anywhere who would like to check in and say hello? Please go ahead.
VA3NCA. Ellie Romeo Foxtrot. VA3HWD.
Okay, I heard NCA. Romeo Foxtrot. I didn't have the full call sign yet. There was a double. And I did miss one station there with a low audio. And that was before Dave. So that station, you want to come back again. And the repeater is located in Hamilton. And I'm going to check your reverse. So go ahead, please. Okay, Amnon, I'm hearing you loud and clear. Yeah, just stand by for a second. No problem. I did hear you on reverse fine, no problem. And we had Dave at the end. VE3ZOE, please go ahead.
Yes, good evening, Arpad, and good evening, everybody on net. Yeah, just a quick check-in on a snowy day. I did manage, before the snow started, to get my my top rail post put back up and my 40 through 10 NFED restrung before the snow came, and now it's collecting a little bit of wet snow. So we'll see if I did a decent job at putting up the post if it's still up in the morning. So I have that tonight. Also wondering if anybody's heard about the QSO Today Expo. It's a this weekend. It's an online ham radio expo. Anyways, I signed up. It's only $10, so I thought I'd give it a shot, and I'll see how it goes. Anyways, I'm not sure if anybody else has heard of it. Over to you, Arpad, VE3ZOE.
No, I did not hear about that expo, and you're coming in fine, like the usually 1 bar. So I'm wondering when you're going to put up that post and whatnot. How many posts are you putting up? One 10-footer, or are you going to put in a couple of them?
So right now, the plan is I'm going to put up at least 2 for the VHF-UHF antenna in the spring when the weather gets overall better and I can feel better about climbing on roofs and stuff. So I'll do at least 20 feet there. This one is at the back of the property, so it's sort of like the far end of the sloping NFED. So that one's nice and easy. I don't have to climb up very high, and it's only 10 foot. So the intention is to put at least 20 foot with a VHF-UHF and the one end of a wire antenna, and run the wire to the back of the property to the 10-footer. But right now, all I got is a 10-footer, so that's my start anyways.
Yeah, roger that. Yeah, no problem. We'll see. Just let us know when you went into a little maybe higher altitude, and I can give you a signal report. But your signal is usually averaging as S1, and that's what you're putting out today. Your audio is good. I can hear you fine on reverse. Anything else, Wade?
Well, just I have you out of 5, so pretty good conditions given that it's snowing. So yeah, and maybe I'll just surprise and I'll just check in and see if the signal reports are noticeably different when I get around to it in further into the spring. If anybody's interested, take a look at it. It's that online expo. It's this weekend with one pre-show tonight. At 10 p.m. our time. It's QSOTodayHamExpo.com. So that's all one word, QSOTodayHamExpo.com. Just in case anybody's interested, it seems relatively inexpensive. It's totally online presentations and such. Anyways, I'll send it back to you, Arpad. Thanks for doing it, VE3ZOE.
All right. Thank you very much for that information. I do appreciate it. And the next station I heard on the RF, so I guess it's CRF. That must be Vern. Please go ahead.
Romeo Foxtrot, checking in for water down. Just out for a stroll. Snowing lightly. There's a bit of a, I don't know, maybe 1 or 2 centimeters on the ground to stay, looks like. And do you copy me about that?
Oh, sure, I can hear you loud and clear on the reverse. You're coming in with an S3, and you were a little bit weak on the repeater. I'm not sure what that was. Maybe your audio was a little bit low, but I can hear you quite good on reverse S3.
Sounds good. Actually, I realized that I had put it on low power because the last time I used this radio, the battery pack was low, so I put it on low power. So I popped it back up to a higher power.
Okay, well, the higher power seems to be working. When did you switch it to high power? Just now, or because I'm hearing you on reverse with the same strength?
Yeah, I did it just now after I tried to check in first, and I looked down and realized, oh, I should pop it up to high so I can make it with the handy-talkie.
Okay, at least you know how to operate that radio. That's good. Yep, that's why we are here. And if you have to make some changes on the fly. You see, it's even in the dark you can do it. Thank you very much, Vern. Do you have anything else to add?
Arpad, just a quick comment. I did figure out how to get the USB driver for that cable. The problem was I had the RT cable, not the ICOM cable, sorry. So I needed to download the RT USB driver rather than the ICOM one. That's why I couldn't get it to work. I was like, oh, seriously?
Oh, okay, yeah. But you don't have the RT software, right?
No, not the RT software. And it's actually, I'm using an older version of the CS31, the software to control the radio, because I have an older version of the radio, and it looks like it works fine.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, the radio has, I believe, two of them, two software, what you can buy. One for the remote control. It costs you about $150, and one for programming. So, the remote control software is a little bit expensive, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, roger that. I need to do a bit more reading up on D-Star before I try to program anything, but I'm just glad the cable works and I can get it to work on the computer and connect with the radio. So I thought I'd let you know.
Yeah, Roger, that's very good. Good radio, and I'm very sure you can figure it out. And hey, YouTube is always there to help you. YouTube University, as you know. All right, thank you very much. And let me bring in Amnon from Toronto. Please go ahead.
A good copy on the repeater. Got you with an S5, good copy on the rest. And I did catch Max there before, and he was coming with an S5 as well. So good signals all around for today. Back to you, Arpad.
Okay, Amnon, thank you very much. And actually, you were holding the repeater right at the beginning, then you got dropped out. And then you came back again, so you're just barely making it to the repeater. But I can hear you with an S3 on reverse without any problems. The helicopters are flying at low altitude just a little bit, so but that doesn't bother me at all. So that's the way it is, and it would be interesting to see how Mark heard you today, because seems to me you're sending lower signals today. Mark, are you still with us?
Comment.
I got a guy on the phone, so I'll make my report real quick. Amnon at S4 this afternoon. Really good signal to my station. Noisy to the repeater, so obviously the snow and stuff like that is hampering the higher elevation signals. Anyways, good job. We'll hear you up on the Sky repeater. 7-3s, and I'll send it back to Arpad or the comment, Chuck, whatever.
All right. Thank you very much, Mark. Do appreciate it. And Chuck, please go ahead.
Hey, thank you there, Arpad. Just want to mention Amnon, I could hear on reverse this time, flickering S1, S2. And wasn't making it to the repeater, but I was getting them. So that means it must be a low signal there, Arpad.
Yeah, no, when you were listening to on reverse, and you are almost the same altitude where I am, did you hear something like almost like a choppy, like helicopter flying? That we call it helicopter, and I did hear that today. And did you hear that little? I think that's coming from Lake Ontario. The waves are throwing up the signals or something.
Yeah, no, I did hear it a little bit. It wasn't loud at all, and it's unusual though. I could hear Arpad clear, and obviously on reverse, and not making it into the repeater. So normally it's the other way around. I can't hear him. So just thought I'd pass that along there. Back to you, Arpad. VE3ZOE.
All right. Have another listen and listen for that little helicoptering signal. And Amnon, do you have any more comments?
The signal report sounds like a good propagation today. And Chuck, yeah, I have Chuck over with an S1. Can make out what he's saying, but it's a bit of a rough copy because the noise coming in with his signal big time. Thank you, RPAD. We see you there.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much, guys. And actually, that helicoptering went away, and now I can hear a little echo. Yep. So just like George's, but it wasn't that strong like what George had today. All right, let's bring in the next station. Dave, go ahead, please.
VE3ZOE, nothing to report. All quiet over here.
All right, Dave, thank you very much. You are doing a good job. I'm not hearing you on reverse, but you're coming to a repeater without any problems. Thanks again to checking in. This is Victor Alpha 3, Victor Alpha Delta with the COVID-19 ARS.net. Do we have any new stations who would like to check in? Please go ahead.
Victor Alpha 3, Delta Charlie Sierra.
VE3 and PT.
Okay, I heard two stations there, DCS and Nanu. VE3 DCS, your audio is very, very low. If you wouldn't mind to speak up a little bit or get closer to the microphone, please go ahead.
Oh, okay. Maybe the power on the radio is going down. I haven't had. Sure.
Well, the power has nothing to do with it. You're holding the repeater perfectly fine. Give me one more transmission and I'll check you on reverse.
All right. That should be enough to not hear me. But I'm here.
Yeah, I'm hearing you with 1 bar. 1 bar and not bad. What kind of radio is that?
It's Yaesu FT65 handheld.
Yaesu FT65. You're not using the microphone with it, right?
No, just the radio itself.
Yeah, on those radios, I believe they have, if you go into the menus, there's a mic gain, and you can throw a couple of them percentage of, crank it up a little bit. I would recommend to do that. Yeah, you're talking very softly, and the radio is not hearing you, or the microphone is not hearing you very well. Yeah, those radios usually, they do have better audio. Just take a look at the menu. I have a couple of them Yaesu radios here, but I would have to go into the menu and take a look at it. Which menu item is that? Just take a look at it.
All right, I will do that. Anyways, I'll be listening.
All right, very good. And you are coming in with 1 bar to my location on reverse. So technically, we could be able to operate radio to radio in simplex mode in case we need to. And thank you very much. And Nanu, do you know what item number is the mic gain on your radio?
I really don't know, Arbed. I go to the menu to see that one because I usually I didn't took too many hours to just watch the radio. I just watch how to put in a reverse and how to program it, and that's it. I didn't touch the mic gain on my end.
All right. Yep. Yours is good. Maybe his radio is turned on a little bit. Somebody who owned it before or whatnot, they turned the mic gain on. Yeah, you're doing a good job. S8 on reverse all the way from Young and Eglinton, and yeah, it's amazing that little handy walkie-talkie radio. We can't wait, but when you're gonna get that antenna. Hey, maybe what you're gonna have to do is just set up that antenna outside and sit outside, get a camping chair on the balcony.
Yeah. I was programming to see the passing cable and everything, but now the weather came down again. I see a lot of snow on the balcony, and I can see some ice on the lines on the street. So probably it did rain, some freezing rain or something. So I have to wait now for better days for me to go outside and watch the antenna.
I got about 4 of them snow shovels here, so I'll give you one. If the snow bothers you so much, just make sure when you throw the snow down from the 29th floor, you're not going to throw it on anybody's head.
No. Yeah. In here, it doesn't go too bad on the snow side, or it's more ice on the balcony. The snow, no, not so bad. But yeah, that is a bad idea. Try to kill someone with snow.
Yeah, roger that. All right, thank you very much. You're doing a good job, S8, and do appreciate your check-in. And your net is going to be on the Sky Repeater tonight, according to Mark.
Okay, Arbel, thanks for the information. Yeah, that's a good one. So I can just hear it perfectly, because when they use the 407, for me it's the worst. Even if I'm in Toronto, and it's the worst frequency for me to hear anyone.
Yeah, and I know one thing. I can hear you loud and clear on, like you're using a handy walkie-talkie, right, with extended antenna, and you're coming all the way to radio with an S8. You're doing a beautiful job. But when the nets are, I did listen to you on when the nets were coming in. I did not able to hear you. So yeah, usually at that time of the night, after 8 o'clock. No, actually after 5 o'clock, 5:15. I got lots of noise. It's exactly at 5:15. I don't know what it is, the street lights or whatnot, or something like they do on the street or whatever. I don't know, but at 5:15, my noise level goes from 0 to about 7 or 6 on the 2-meter side. So I don't know what that is. And usually I'm not hearing you on reverse on the 2-meter side. So that's if somebody's using a 440 with a rubber ducky antenna, it's always better to use for the 70 centimeter than the 2-meter. It has a much better coverage for sure. All right, Nanu, do you have anything else to add?
No, just to say, on the construction around me on the 2-meter frequencies is killing too, because I have the new subway Eglinton subway station construction, and some days it's really bad, the noise. I cannot hear no one almost. So yeah, sometimes it's a construction too. I just want to say 73 to all, and be careful out there with all this snow. VE3 and PT.
Yeah, roger that. And I keep telling these guys for years at the Toronto Ares nets. They're running like 3 of them 2-meter nets or simplex. I don't understand. In a big city like that, lots of noise coming from everywhere on the 2-meter side. The 440 is very quiet. I don't understand why they don't just run a 440 net. At least one of the nets should be traded to the 440 side. All right, thank you very much, Nanu. This is Victor Alpha to Victor Alpha Delta with the COVID-19 DRS lockdown. Do we have any new stations anywhere who would like to check in? Please go ahead.
Recheck.
Go ahead, recheck.
Hey, Arpad, it's Vern. Just want to say boa noit to Nuno. And to the gentleman that was in before Nuno, my experience with the Yaesu radios is once you open the menu items are all in alphabetical order, like from A up. So if he just kind of scrolls through the menu, he'll come across Mike Game.
Yeah, all right. I'm not sure if Dave is still with us. Yeah, that was Dave, Victor Alpha 3 Delta Sierra, Delta Charlie Sierra, sorry, the DCS. Yeah, and he's in Dundas. How did you copy him on reverse, though?
I actually wasn't checking him on reverse. A lot of folks I can hear you on reverse, but most other folks I can't copy. I couldn't copy Amnon, can't copy Nuno.
Oh, okay, roger that. All right. Oh, you can't copy Nuno? That's surprising me. He's coming into my location with an S8.
I'm not sure what to say there. Yeah, there's some folks that come in pretty clear to you, and I can't necessarily get them. Maybe because of the height, because of where I'm at.
Yeah, don't worry. He'll by the summer he'll be installing an antenna on the balcony. That's what he promised us, an X50 or something he's going to put up, and that's what he's going to use. And we'll see how strong is his signal going to be. Right now, he's just using a rubber ducky, extended rubber ducky antenna, you know, the little longer one. And yeah, those are good antennas, what he's using. All right, thank you very much. Anything else?
Nope, just thought I'd jump in there about the menu for the radios, if that's helpful. Thanks very much, Arpad.
Yeah, roger that, thank you. This is Victor Alpha 3, Victor Alpha Delta with the COVID-19 ARS log.net. Do we have any new stations who would like to check in? Go ahead.
Victor Echo 3, Romeo Whiskey Juliet. Victor Echo 3, Tango Golf Lima.
Okay, I have two stations there, Chris and Uwe. Chris, please go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, Arpad. Thanks to Chuck for doing the stream. And I'm interested, Arpad, in your noise level on 2 meters. You said that comes on every day at just after 5. I have the same problem here in at my QTH in Ancaster. It comes on about 7 minutes, 6 or 7 minutes after 4 every day, and shuts off just after midnight, like quarter after, 20 after midnight. But definitely once the weather's warm, I'm going to have to walk around with an HT and see if I can figure out, figure out where it's coming from.
Yeah, actually I was looking for that, but I didn't go around yet. I think it's coming from the power line. I have one beam which was pointing to the CN tower, and that's a 2 meter and 4 foot. It's a dual bender beam, and that beam where it's pointing, actually there's a transformer, and pointing right at the transformer. That's about 3 houses away from me, I would say. And now I have another antenna, which one is omnidirectional, which one I'm using right now. And I'm not hearing that noise that strong. It comes up to about S7 and about S5, S4 on the omnidirectional antenna. So I'm just guessing it could be coming from that transformer, or maybe what I'm you said it's after 4 o'clock. Now we are going to come up to the time change tomorrow. I'm going to have to take a look at it, exactly what time is that coming on. And let's see, usually it's 5, I wrote that down. I was watching my radio, and it's somebody's hitting a switch, and the noise comes on. There's absolutely no noise all day, and about 5:10, 5:15, it's like somebody hits the switch, and that's happening all year. Now, I cannot remember if they're changing the time. We are coming up to the time change, so there's going to be an hour difference, and maybe that's why you have it at 4:05. And actually, when I made this test, that was at 5:10, 5:55 in that area. Now, and same thing, the signal disappearing, not like somebody turns off the switch, but very slowly. About 3 o'clock in the morning, between 1 to 4 or something like that. It's slowly disappearing.
Okay, that sounds very similar to what's happening here, only in my case it shuts off quickly. Just like it comes on quickly, it shuts off quickly here after 12. So after the time change, though, that's going to be on just after 5 and off just after 1 a.m. So it'll be interesting to see if I can figure out what it is. If it's a transformer, I guess you'd have to report it to the city or the utility company or something, and hope that they do something about it.
Yeah, roger that. And I looked at the street lights. Maybe I was, I figured maybe these new kind of street lights, but no, it always comes up at the same time. Now, what you can do tomorrow, just watch it, see what time is that going to come on, at 4:30 or 5:30. And when they're going to change the time, if it's a mechanical switch, then probably they would change that with the time. And if it's always comes on at the same time, doesn't matter what time it is, it would come up at the same time, but in a different time zone, so 1 hour off. So this is a good time to check. if that noise is following a clock or just following, like, I don't know, something else.
Yep. No, it'll be interesting to figure it out. And on the other thing is on FM, you just hear it on other signals. You don't hear it on, the noise itself. You can't really hear it, but you can hear it if you switch modes. If you go to AM, then you can hear it come on, and it's pretty loud. Anyway, that's it from here, and I'll once the weather warms up and I take a walk around the neighborhood, I'll let you know if I figure out what it is in my area.
Yeah, and actually what I'm going to do, I'm going to look into it tomorrow a little bit more, or even maybe tonight. And the reason for that is because I do have a SDR Play device, and I can see the waveform. And now if it's like comes up as a spike, and it disappears and comes on, then we would have more information. And this unit, what I have, I can cover 10 megahertz bandwidth on the screen. So actually, I can pinpoint the location where is the signals the strongest.
Oh, very cool. Okay. Well, when it gets warmer, I'm in the Burlington Club, so I'm gonna put the word around and see if anyone wants to join me and what equipment they can bring out, and we'll go on a hunt.
Yeah, and we just try to figure out the frequency. That's why, or maybe you can ask somebody to come up with the SDR Play, and that would actually I can do that for you. I can take my computer and the SDR Play, just use a little hook up a beam antenna to it, and just see if the frequency is matching my frequency. So probably it's coming from. I would suggest it's coming from the power company. And maybe they're sending a different waveform at that time. So they must have maybe something like a night power supply and the day power supply. I don't know if they're switching something, and that's bothering the radios a little bit. But daytime I have perfectly no noise at all, nothing. I can crank it all the way down, and after 5 o'clock, forget it. The noise is there all the time, and I did write the time down, and the next day it was exactly the same time, so it's just like a clock. So, All right, thank you very much, Chris. And Uwe, please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Arpad. Hope everybody has a good evening out there. Weekend on us, so let's enjoy the weekend. What you're mentioning there about the SDR Play, that's a pretty good idea to even for a fun time. Gives you another element to add it if you're tracking something. Good idea. I got one of those kicking around here. I haven't used it for a while. Maybe I can use it for that. Although I don't got nobody to chase right now, so I'm okay for now. Anyways, back to net, and just checking in. No traffic.
Yeah, when you're doing fox hunting, you do have a set of frequency on that one. Actually what you can do, the receiving gain can be changed on the software. So, like if you have a handy walkie-talkie, it would be hard to change the receiving sensitivity, even if you have one of those alternator, whatever they call it. That would be like a fixed one on the SDR Play. You can lower it with the software, but it would be hard to drive the car and play with the computer. So actually, you would need a driver to see. Quite interesting. But you see, we don't know the exact frequency what we were talking about. So that's why on the SDR you can see the waveform basically. And sometimes I had an issue with on the 440 side, by the way. And I had some interference, and I used my Play C to try to figure out where the signal is coming from. And I could see it was a perfect wave, like a sine wave, and it was going on the 440 band everywhere. And I started searching it down and down and down, and went closer and closer. You know what it was? My computer and the monitor. I was using at that time one of these big computers, and the monitor and an HDMI cable was plugged in between the monitor and the computer, and the HDMI cable was bleeding out RF, and it was covering perfectly the 440 band. So when I unplugged it, everything disappeared.
Yeah, I had a laptop like that too. Every time I turned it on, it would wipe out 2 meters. And turned it off, no problem. Everything went away. Computers are kind of notoriously noisy. Anyways, yeah, that's all good stuff. VE3ZOE.
Yeah, and now if somebody lives in a house, for example, or even if you live in a condominium or an apartment, and you try to figure out, you have some noise, and you try to figure out if it's coming from you or from somebody else, what you could do is to run your radio on a battery or something, or if you have some kind of device to monitor, like a handheld, go to the where you hear that noise the best, and go downstairs or go to your fuse box and turn all the power down in your apartment or in the house or in the condo. And if the noise disappears, then it's probably coming from you. And as you turning them back on, just turn it on one by one and have a listen, and see which fuse you're turning on and where is that fuse goes to. So you can figure out, maybe you can figure out what's causing the interference.
Yeah, that's a good idea. The fuse box. But yeah, mine was just my laptop, and it was pretty noisy. So I don't use it that much anymore, anyways. But yeah, it was noisy. Anyways, yeah, the fuse panel, VE3ZOE. Back to net control. I got nothing else to say.
Yeah, for example, I live in the house, and it's built back in the 50s, so nothing in the conduit. You know, all the electric wires are exposed and whatnot, so they're giving out lots of noise and radiation and all that. And one day, we had a power outage. And I have a little shortwave radio, and usually how I'm using it, I just pull out a wire, and inside the house, I cannot hear anything because all the electric noise from the house. One day we had a power outage, and I grabbed my radio. I said, okay, let's try it, because the house is out of power, the neighbors, everybody is out of power. There was no power in the area, and the radio worked perfectly fine inside the house. There was absolutely no noise. It was one of the best time to listening on radio, and yeah, it was inside the house and absolutely no noise. All right, VE, thank you very much. This is Victor Alpha 3, Victor Alpha Delta with the COVID-19 ARS.net. Do we have any news stations anywhere who would like to check in? Please go ahead.
VE3ZOE.
Go ahead, Slim.
Well, hello, RPAD. Thank God I caught you in time, but just throwing a bean in the pot.
Yeah, very good. You are a plus 330 on reverse, and I can hear you loud and clear. Do you have anything else to add?
No, that's it, RPAD. Thanks for doing the net.
All right, thank you very much for your check-in. Do we have any more stations who would like to check into the COVID-19 ARS.net? Please go ahead.
VE3 NPT recheck.
Go ahead, please.
RPAD, just to say one note, if Brown is still here, and I was watching on the menu, it's the menu number 31, it says Mick K.
Yeah, Mike again. Yeah, Mike again. Yeah, that's there's a guy a German guy on YouTube, and he's repairing radios. Some kind of lab. I can't remember what lab. He's one of the best guy. He shows you how to fix the radios, whatever is wrong with it, and he calls it not my gain, Mick gain. That's what he says all the time.
Yeah, on this menu, because the screen is small, it says Mickey.
Yeah, that's a Roger. All right. Yeah, what item? I'm going to write that down, and if he comes back tomorrow, then I'll. Yeah, that was David. His name is. What menu item was it?
3-1.
Okay, I'll mark that down, and yeah, hopefully that's going to help him out. Yeah, his radio is one version younger than yours, but I would say it's very close. All right, thank you very much. And do we have any any news stations anywhere who would like to check into the COVID-19 ARS log.net? Please go ahead.
Comment.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi, Arpad is VE3ZOE. That YouTube channel I think you were talking about is TRX, Tango Romeo X-Ray Lab, and it's the guy's name is Peter. And yeah, I second it. It's an excellent channel. He has a good series on toroids for doing broadband transformers for antennas and one-to-one Ballon chokes for stopping feed line feeding back up your cable, and a bunch of other really good stuff. So TRX Lab.
Yeah, and it's so funny. I have one radio, a Camwood handheld radio, which was quite expensive back in those days, and a very good radio. Actually, it's working perfectly fine. There is an issue with that radio, and if you remove the battery and you plug it in, and my battery was dead, so actually. It was like completely dead. I couldn't charge it up or anything like that. So usually how I used it, I used it on, how you plug it into the cigarette lighter or, with the plug. And that's how I used it all the time. And I wasn't paying too much attention, and I put it on a metallic surface without the battery. And, the battery prongs, which one is attaching to the, when you put the battery on, it just latches to it, the two copper point, they shorted out. So the radio went quiet, and actually he was talking about one of those Camwood D7 radio with an exactly same problem. Somebody had the same situation, they shorted out, and he couldn't figure out how did that happen, and I sent him a note. I said probably they shorted out the without the battery, because my radio does the same thing. He did trace it down and find the issue and everything like that. And yeah, we had some communication was going on back and forth, and it was so funny because I had the exactly same situation. And yeah, I think he's one of the best. He goes step by step. And now, if I watch that video, I saved that video actually, and I'm supposed to open up my radio and remove the part which one is defected and put in a new one. So I did have to buy a microscope, by the way. So these devices are so small, a little switch burned out in it, and I do have the same issue exactly. So yeah, to fix these radios now these days, you have to own a microscope and special desoldering tools and stuff.
Yeah, roger that. They are very, very small. Yeah, yeah. But Peter at TRX Lab really good on all types of technical topics. Another really good one is Mr. Carlson's Lab, another YouTube channel. Mr. Carlson's Lab. He's a Canadian as well. So those are two really good ones. Anyways, I'll send it back to you. Thanks for taking the comment, VE3ZOE.
Yeah, I watched him as well. Yeah, he's fixing all their radios and tube radios and whatnot. I'm not really into those stuff. So, but yeah, you know what? I don't know anything about radios and stuff like that. And I had one radio, which one the receiving side went on it, and it wasn't receiving very well. Only this very, very strong signals were coming through. So I watched some YouTube videos, and they said, yeah, that's a common problem. And first, I took the radio down to Radio World, and, back in those days, they were fixing radios and stuff like that, and they said it's $350 labor plus parts, and the new radio cost about, $600. So, the parts would be like, $50, I would figure, and $350 is $400. Now, am I going to spend $400 on a radio which was $600 brand new? I don't think so. So, I just let it go, and one day I was watching one of these YouTube videos, and they said, "Yep, this is a common problem with these radios, and there's 4 filters. It's receiving ceramic filters. They basically they wear off after 10 years, 8 years or so. So yep, that's what it was. I replaced the 4 filters. After that, the radio ran like brand new, better than before."
Yeah, with these electronics, if you know exactly what's wrong, you can still repair them. But if you need to hire somebody to do the debugging and repair, then they quickly outpace the cost of replacement, which is I guess good that things are relatively inexpensive, but they're kind of bad that that we're at that point where otherwise good equipment might find itself in e-waste. So, anyways, I'll send it back to you. Thanks, Pat. VE3ZOE.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, I was going to throw the radio out because I wasn't prepared to pay $400, and I figured maybe I'm going to use it for parts or something in the future. So I put it on the side. Then we ordered. I looked at this video and I said, "Oh, okay, hold on. Let's order these parts." And we looked up the website where to order them from. Each filter, there's 4 filters in it. So one for the FM 2-meter, FM 440. Then they were the wide ones. Then a narrow FM 2-meter and 440. So there was 4 filters in it. Each filter was costing only $5 each. So the parts were only $20, and my 45 minutes labor. So, yeah, saved me $400 for sure, plus taxes even. All right, let's see if you have any new stations anywhere else who would like to check into the COVID-19 ARSLog.net. Please go ahead. Okay, I'm not hearing any more stations. Let's call for last call stations. And maybe, you know what, let me just check before I'm going to call for last call stations. If anybody would like to check in, try it. And I'm going to go into reverse mode just in case you're not making it to the repeater. Please go ahead. Okay, I had a feeling Jeff is going to be there somewhere. Okay, Jeff, yep, you are not making it to the repeater today, but I heard you on reverse. Please go ahead. Okay, Jeff, thank you very much. You're doing a good job. You're coming in loud and clear. And I looked up your radio manual, and actually the microphone sensitivity on your radio, if you go into the menu, it's menu item 110. It's right after it's under the transmit and receive, TXRX, menu number 110. It's after the TOT, time over timer. That's where it is. And you have 3 options, high, medium, and low. I believe yours is on high. All right, Jeff, thank you very much. You are coming in. Give me one more transmission. Let me check your reverse. Yeah, okay, that's good. You're coming in with an S6 tonight, and you are not making it to the repeater, but you are transmitting on the right frequency and everything, but you're not making it to the repeater. Thank you very much, Jeff, and do appreciate it. S6. All right. Do we have any last call stations who would like to check into the COVID-19 ARSLog.net? Please go ahead.
Sector Echo 3, Charlie Echo Uniform.
Okay, Tomasz, good evening to you. Please go ahead.
Good evening, Todd, and everybody else on the net. VE3ZOE VE3ZOE. Yeah, I've been just kind of listening to the radio on and off, and I was on the phone and on the computer and all that stuff. And yeah, it's Friday, so now I'm off Saturday and Sunday. And been checking.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, you're doing a good job. S6, same copy as Jeff. Yeah, you're coming in just fine, no problem. And you can go out and go to the movies now or something. You know, like no, you still have to wear the mask. Well, I don't know. Go fishing.
I don't know about going fishing, but yeah, when it comes to TV, I got all kinds of TV here, movie channels and all that stuff. So. Which I don't watch a lot, but I got lots of entertainment here. I got a good acoustic guitar here. I got my ham radio, so
I got all kinds of stuff here to keep me going.
Yeah, don't watch too much news because, it's going to make you depressed and you're going to pull your hair out. And, on Monday morning, the passengers are going to say, what the hell happened with your hair?
Well, I don't have any hair as it is, so that's why I always wear a baseball cap. But anyways, no other traffic for the net airpad, and I guess that's probably the last decent spot tonight there. So thanks for doing it, and have yourself a good evening.
Yeah, Garnett's supposed to be here at the end, but he went out and he was driving around a little bit today. So he got up 2 o'clock in the morning, and he couldn't go back to sleep. So probably he's sleeping, and he must be tired. Thank you very much, Tomasz. S6, good transmission. This is Victor Alpha 3, Victor Alpha Delta. I'm calling for last call stations who would like to check in. Garnet, wakey.
VE3ZOE, I'm here.
And you are awake. How did you do that? All that traveling back and forth and playing with the radio, and you're not tired yet?
Getting close.
Yeah, roger that. Let's see your signal strength.
Yeah, I'm on the ICOM.
Okay, very good. Yeah, that remote worked for you very well. So, yeah, that's a good setup. And you're going to be a local celebrity or something. I don't know. You're going to have to go to everybody's to set up the IP addresses.
There you go. Larry, VE3ZOE, he helped me a bit, too. So he takes credit, too.
Yeah, well, you guys going to be a team now. So if you're setting up to anybody's radio, if you go to anybody's radio to set up and all that stuff, you make sure you charge them $65 for labor.
There we go. And you do 280, you can buy another CD.
Yeah, roger that. All right, thank you very much. You're doing a good job, plus 20 on that radio today, and you are number 26 on my list. Do you have anything else to add?
No, that's good, Arpad. Thank you for being there. I never was on there. I'm on the SM50 microphone. I'm on my radio, actually. Sitting in front of my radio. I'm not on remote.
Yeah, I don't know why you didn't call me about that microphone. You spent $350 plus taxes on the new one. I could sell you one for cheaper.
Oh, it don't matter. Mine's serious, new radio, new microphone.
Yeah, but you should just kept the old one. It was working fine. Hello.
Yeah, I hear ya. You don't use that microphone?
That's what I'm using right now.
It sounds good.
Yeah, I know. I was using a boom microphone earlier, but not today, but a few weeks ago, and it works fine. The only issue is on 80 meter. It has a feedback on it, and I tried to stop it, to put a whole bunch of them ferrites on it and whatnot. Looks like no, it's still picking up some HF.
Oh, that's a shame. Those are nice to put on microphones.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm gonna have to change the cable. You know, that cable goes from the microphone to the radio, and maybe there's some issue going on in that cable. I don't know. I'm gonna have to take a look at it.
Yeah, that's a cheap cable. It's not shearer property, maybe.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me anywhere. It works fine anywhere except 75 meter.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, my boom mic, my desk mic, they work no matter where I go. They're pretty good.
Yeah, I'm very sure there's nothing wrong with it. It's just the way how it's set up. Sometimes probably if I would move it to a different location, maybe it would go away. I don't know. I didn't pay too much attention to it. Maybe one day when I have time. All right, Garnett, thank you very much. You're doing a good job, and now you can go to sleep. Okay, then, do we have any last call stations who would like to check into the COVID-19 ARS lockdown net? Please go ahead. Okay, then, I'm not hearing anybody else. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, I did not hear any ladies. Ladies were in my head only, I guess. 26 people checked in tonight. Thank you very much for that. And I guess I'm going to say a big thank you to VE3RQ Terry, the owner of the VE3ZOE Repeater, and thank you very much, Terry, to let us use your fine repeater. And this is Victor Alpha 3, Victor Alpha Delta. I will return the repeater back to normal use. And yeah, you guys go ahead and use the repeater. Larry, go ahead.
Yeah, okay, no problem, Arpad. I'll give everybody a little break there, and then we'll start up the reg 2 for tonight. So thanks for doing it. And the reason that Garnett had to go and buy a new microphone, he couldn't afford the rental on the SM20 that I loaned him.
That was expensive. That was $50 a night.
No, I don't understand. I didn't understand what he was doing because I bought his radio, then he included the microphone, right? And he went out and bought the exactly same microphone, and these are not that cheap microphone. You know, like it's $350 plus taxes. So you know, he lost $300 right there.
Anyways, Arpad, okay, thanks for doing it. And like I say, I'll give a little break, and then we'll start up the reg 2 for tonight. Thanks again for doing your net.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over to the 2 meter side and say hello to the Robert, I guess.
Well, you better hurry up because it's 20 after 8.
Victor Echo 3, India Lima Lima. Arpad, I'd like to apology. Somehow, some way, my radio cross-talked with this channel. I'm sorry about that. It might have been out of protocol, and I'd just like to apologize and show and thank you very much. Just want to say sorry.
Well, I think we'll start up the Friday night ZOE Reg 2. So I'll say welcome to everybody. And my call sign is Victor Echo 3 Lima Bravo India. My first name is Larry, located in the on East Hamilton Mountain. And it's a round table Reg 2. Anybody wants to join the conversation, give us your call sign, your name. You can tell us about yourself, equipment, ask questions, or whatever you want to add to the whatever's going on for the comments and things. Anyways, remember, we are using a repeater. It has very good coverage in Ontario. So no religion, politics, or foul language. And before we start, I'd like to thank Terry of VE3IQL for the use of the ZOE repeater. Am I going to drop? So I kind of come up with a bit of a topic for tonight. Again, it's open reg 2, so please feel free to change the topic, whatever you wish. But I know we went through some pretty high winds there last weekend. I fortunately didn't have any damage. I don't know if anybody else did. I'm just curious more than one thing. But the other thing I thought we'd talk about is basically spring cleaning. Coming into spring very shortly. I'm not talking about the house. I'm not talking about the garden. I'm talking about your antennas, your coax, your connectors. It's been a long winter, hard, cold winter. A lot of rain, a lot of snow. We've had warm temperatures, cold temperatures. I'm not sure if anybody actually pulls down their antennas to see what the connectors look like. Mine are wrapped with a rubberized silicone tape that is stretchable. I'm going to drop. And one of the things I'm going to do this year is I'm going to drop them. I'm going to make sure that the actual ends are connected properly, they're tight still, and the coatings are well done. I run a fan dipole with 3 different actual wires on it. One of the problems that I ran into was not the connectors themselves, but actually the joints where the actual wires came together. They are a stainless steel bolt that goes through, but there was actually some corrosion in between the actual connectors. I cleaned them all off with some alcohol and some actual contact cleaner, and then I actually rubbered, put liquid tape on them. So another thing I'm going to check this year, I just wonder how many other people are thinking about the same thing, or whether you've even thought about it. I'm going to drop. Anyways, it is open discussion, just to kind of bring people together on a Friday night and talk about different things. So, kind of like I just said, anybody's interested in speaking about that or thinking about it, like I say, a little bit of spring cleaning on your coax, your antennas and connectors. So, all right, do anybody like to check into the ZOE Reg 2 for tonight? Come ahead, please.
VE3GNP. Victor Alpha 3, Victor Alpha Delta.
Do we have anybody else who wants to join in, please? Come out.
Victor Alpha 3, Foxtrot Golf Tango.
Anybody else like to join in, please go ahead. Okay, I can't pick that call sign up. Somebody can pick it up, please. Now, last party that came in there, you're awful light on the repeater. I couldn't pick it up. Can you try again, please? Okay, nothing heard at the present time. Back up to Garnett, VE3GMP. Go ahead, Garnett.
Yeah, thank you, very neighborhoods on that. Luckily, I got very lucky. None of my antennas got damaged during that windstorm. I panicked though. Every time it's high winds, I panic about my antennas, but everything worked out pretty good. And I'll probably check my lower antennas. I can check the seals on them and see what it's like after the winter. My beams are just too far out, too high up. I can't access them.
Yeah, well, like I said, it's been pretty tough. You get one drop of water in one of those connections, not so much a connection, but I'm not a favor of black tape. I don't like black tape. But even with the silicone rubberized stretch tape you put on there, you get a little bit of water in there, freezing and everything else, thawing and freezing. The next thing you know, you either got a split in or a bubble, and the connection isn't as tight as you thought it was.
Yeah, I hear you. Unfortunately, like I said, my beams, they're too far out from the tower, up the mast pipe, and I have no way of accessing them. But the lower antennas I can check.
Well, the other thing is, too, and one of the things we actually forget a lot of times is even mobile antennas, if they're permanently attached to juxtacoax, we get a lot of salt in the wintertime and corrosion and things like that. So whether they're attached to the body or they're magnet mounts, but they should be checked in just in case there's any damage just because of the winter. And really, they should be checked probably more than that. But my thoughts more through the winter, like I say, with the salt and moisture.
Yeah, good point.
Anyways, anything else to add there, Garnett, before I pass it over to Arpad?
No, but I'll be standing by for most of the net anyways. VE3GNP.
Yep, okay, thanks, Garnett. VA3VAD, VE3LBI, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much, Larry. I'm not sure if you guys have any toppings for today or not, but you guys were talking about connectors and whatnot, and I think the best way to go when you're installing an antenna, you figure, well, you're not going to touch it for 20, 25 years. You want to do a good job. So actually what I do is I'm putting on some electric tape first, and I wrap it around with electric tape. Then I have a can of this liquid rubber, they call it. They sell them down by, what's this place on Parkdale? New Tech. It's about $14 now. What I do, what they sell you, probably sitting there because it costs a little bit expensive, so it's sitting there for years and years. What you want to put into it is, I got some right here, and it is called acetone. Yeah, that's right, acetone. You go and steal it from your wife and put some acetone in it and make it more fresh, and you can paint it perfectly. So that's what I do. I just paint over the electric tape with the liquid rubber. Never had any issues. Never had any leakage or anything like that. Right at the ends everywhere. So and now on the mobile, when you're putting on the mobile antenna, put some dielectric grease on it. just a little bit, not inside the inside connector, but outside thread. When you're putting it on, put some grease on it, so the salty water is not going to seep into it. It's going to protect it a little bit more. And yeah, once in a while, just take off the antenna, bring it inside, and wash it off, and wash the connector so the salt is the enemy number one. Back to you.
Yep, no, thanks, Arpad. Yeah, that's basically what I was coming across. I called it spring cleaning, but more about your base antenna, your mobile antenna, hard winters and things. So no, you kind of hit the nail on the head there. What we're discussing, and again, it's open for any discussion we want. But just a lot of things. We always say we got a radio, but it's not the radio that makes the world go around. It's the antenna. So with an improper problem with an antenna, whether it's a coax connection, or some people have their coax lines laying on the ground, they should be checked for whether squirrel mice, whatever, chewing at them, or just the weather conditions.
Yeah, and you never, you look the coax right by the antenna, so you don't want the waves are traveling. But some people are saying, some smart people who knows what they're talking about, they're saying the power goes outside of the cable, the coax basically. It's not inside, it's outside of the shield or whatever. I don't know what they're talking about. But anyways, they're suggesting not to coil up if you have excess coax, not to coil it up and stash it under the table or somewhere. Try to spread it out so the radio waves are going to travel freely, I guess. I don't know.
Well, I think that's an old wives' tale. Mine have always been coiled up. I've never had a problem. So, but I think the other thing is too is like I say, even with the connectors. Like I know you run I think it's a 49-to-1 antenna there. Whether to check to make sure there isn't any water in it. It's been completely sealed. End feds that have ladder line to them, the joints and things like that to make sure that they're actually still properly sealed and there's no damage to them from the weather conditions. And again, the heavy winds we had over the winter time.
Yeah, actually, you know what? I installed a MFG end-fed antenna. I had it on for 1 year, and then I took it down because I bought a new one. The one what I had, the original was 300 watt, and I upgraded it to a 800 watt. Not because I need it, I wanted two antennas anyways, because one for the mobile when we go to these camping trips and whatnot, and one for home. And after that 1 year, I noticed the plastic. It's all black, right? And the black plastic, it wasn't it's weathered. Let's put it that way. And I had some of that spray. That spray what you use for the wheelbase in the car. You can buy it for like Canadian Tire $3 or Princess Auto or whatever. They give you a big can. You can use it for your liner in your pickup truck if you're ambitious, whatnot. But mostly it's like tar basically, and it gets hard. So you use it in the wheelbase in the vehicles and whatnot. And actually, I sprayed it with that and sealed the whole thing up with that sealant, and it seems to be that's working very well. And you can use that on the connectors as well.
Yep, I know the stuff you're talking about, and the other stuff you're talking about was dielectric grease. Yes, it's I think they call it a bed liner or like an undercoat, but they use it in the beds. Yeah, I don't know how. Well, I guess it must be like does it turn like to a rubber, or is it just completely go hard and to the point where it's almost crackable?
No, yeah, this one is hard. It didn't crack. I went and checked on it and everything. Nope, it was same as I sprayed it on. And I find it more cheaper than anything else. And it's a spray, and when you spray it on, it bubbles up. I don't know what it does. Probably it's reacting with the air or something, and it bubbles up, and in a few minutes becomes like hard. And I checked it later, a few months later, and it's hard like a rock. So I guess you can buy different kind, and it doesn't seem to be it's coming off. Now, what I did when I installed the new antenna, the little box where the Toride is in it, I sprayed it quite generously on the top of the plastic, so it's not going to eat the plastic away. Probably the sun rays are damaging the plastic itself.
Yeah, it's probably not UV protective type plastic or whatever, so definitely wouldn't say rot, but it actually breaks down and becomes hard and brittle with the sun rays on it.
Yeah, and what I noticed, yeah, they are stainless steel, the connectors for this antenna. I mean, where the wire meets with this box, it is stainless steel and it's underneath. So, but I still sprayed it over with this spray. So, you know, like, I'm very sure if I have to clean it, probably I can clean it with acetone or something. Probably it's gonna come off. But it's better to seal it, to seal everything, and never had any issues. So, yeah, seems to be the antenna is working good. And it has stainless, 10 of them, a straight line. It's not stranded, but 10 lines of straight, not copper, but stainless steel lines inside of this coax cable. So, not coax, sorry, the antenna. So, yeah, if anybody needs to take a look at it, maybe, yeah, I don't know where would you buy one of those. Actually, this is a good wire for an antenna. It handles higher stresses than copper cable. You know, like when you go to Princess Auto and you buy a whole bunch of them, I don't know, 16 gauge copper wire or something, they won't be that strong as this stainless steel one.
Yeah, just for the strength wise. Yeah, I know mine. You know what? I'm not sure what gauge mine's an Alpha Delta, and I don't know what gauge it is. I don't know whether it's 12 or 10. I wouldn't be a bit surprised. It's pretty heavy. I know that it's got to be at least a 12 gauge. And like I say, it's pretty stiff when you're trying to work with it. That's one of the things when you get in the package. It's rolled up, and you have to stretch it out. Each individual line, and there's 3 lines. Obviously, they're not the same length, but they tell you to make sure you get all the knots, not knots, but the kinks out of it and straighten it out so that when you actually put your spreaders in, you don't have any kind of a sag in it, and it's nice and tight. So it was quite the effort to put it together. But it was, you know what, like I say, it'll be coming down this year. Not all the way, but to the bottom where I can get a hold of it and have a look at the connectors and everything. Anyways, anything else, Pat, before I pass it down to Greg there?
Yeah, just a last comment. Yeah, if anybody wants to build a antenna, I would highly recommend, and you want to keep it for a long, long time. So you put it up, and you never worry about that. And yeah, the best would be instead of using these wires, whatever they're doing, use something like a downrigger wire. It's a stainless steel wire, and yeah, you have to crimp it and whatnot, so it's you cannot solder it, and yeah, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to work with, but they handle 150 pound weight, and it's stainless steel. So you put it up, and you're never ever going to take that down again. Yeah, I think that's what. If my wire would break down for some reason, probably that's what I'm going to do. Just replace it with a 140 foot. They're coming in for $20. You can buy a 200 feet roll, 200 feet long. So actually, we need 146 feet for these antennas. So that would be perfect. And yeah, it's a stranded stainless steel wire for 150 feet, 150 pound weight, and yeah, it's only for $20. So I think that would be the best. And yep, that would be my idea. Back to you, Larry. Thank you very much.
Yep. Okay. Thanks. VA3, VAD, VE3. You're quite welcome to stick around in case other comments. All right, let's back it over to Greg here, VA3FGT. Go ahead, Greg.
Good evening again to everyone, and I had no damage out here with the winds, and I've got 2 wire antennas and the repeater antenna up, and the Antron, and the Moonraker is close to the ground, but it's all together out there, so no damage to it either, so lucky all the way around out here, I would say. And when I put connectors together, I always use a little bit of the green rust check. And I put it on all the threaded areas and the center pin, just the center pin, not the plastic in or isolator in between the negative and positive. But I put that together, and then I use a shrink wrap that has a glue inside, and I'll let it drop. And the
the glue will seal up when it cools down completely airtight, and we use it at work for, you know, long use in heavy equipment and stuff like that on battery terminals and stuff like that. So that's what I use to seal up the ends. It's a little bit difficult to get them back apart. You have to heat it back up and peel it off, but when you peel it back off, the connector is in the same shape as it was when you put it on brand new. And any antenna that I put up high, I always use a really expensive connector with a percentage of silver in it.
Yeah, you're talking about like the PL259s and things like that, Greg?
Yeah, that's right, yep.
Yep, actually I just bought some. A little cheaper than I thought they were. Well, I bought them off of Amazon Prime, which was a pretty good price. Yeah, I was going to say something else too. Oh, yes, Arpad was talking about it's liquid tape. I've used it. It is a little bit rough to get off, and you're right. It's kind of like what you're saying about when you take your connectors off with the heat shrink with the actual adhesive inside of it. I have removed it when I've had to check some of my connectors, and when you peel it back, you swear to God that the connector was brand new.
Yeah, and to keep any water and stuff out of the center of the connector, I use the green rust check from Canadian Tire, only because I know rust check, and it's been out since 1972, and it's been protecting cars from rust for years. And it's been shown that it actually works, but now they've improved it a bit. The green rust check is like a grease. So you spray it into the cap, and you use a small little brush, and you just brush it on as thick as you can without making it transfer to the isolator in between. It won't damage anything, will not damage the isolator or anything, and it says it's perfectly good for dielectric use, so it should not transfer RF from the center pin to the negative.
Yep, no, understand what you're talking about. I've never seen it, never used it. Like I say, I've just, I've been using this new stuff too. It's a stretchable, rubberized silicone tape. And so basically, the way they tell you to use it, when you put it on, if you cut 1 inch, you have to stretch it to 3 inches. So that's how it actually reseals itself back on. And I put that on also some of my connectors, and have removed it, and again, the same thing. But, you know, there's quite a few different techniques for doing it. Each person has their own way. Like Arpad, now I heard what Arpad said. He uses black tape. I am not a fan of black tape, but he recoats it with something. So, you know, even with this rubberized silicone, I could coat it with the actual liquid tape.
Yeah, after having several antennas up for the 11-meter band over 30 years or so, yeah, I'm not a fan of black tape other than, you know, quick coating over top of something else or underneath something else. Yep, I would say that. And maybe some people don't know that black tape has to be stretched, too, for it to properly work. You can't just wrap it around. It has to be pulled tight, stretched a slight bit, and wrapped at the same time. So you may have to change things with electrical tape too if you're not doing that.
Yep, no, absolutely. Anything else, Greg, before I do a quick check and see if anybody else wants to check in? Pass it down here and see if anybody else is around.
No, that's all I got for it. That's what I've been doing for years with the shrink wrap with the glue in it, and it works really well. It seals it airtight, so, and of course that rust check's the best stuff going for any classic car and cars you want to keep around, so I've been using that, and it works well too, and it's a water dispersant. So back to you there, Larry, and have a good one. VE3FGT, we'll be listening.
Yep, okay, thanks, Greg. VA3FGT, VE3LBI. Anybody else wants to check into the Friday night ZOE Repeater? Please come down.
VE3NCA.
VA3CC. Hey, guys, I'm a slow rider. Yep, okay, Wade, you're up there. VA3NCA, VE3LBI, go ahead.
VE3LBI, VA3NCA. Yeah, hi Larry, thanks for picking up my call, and I'm really early in this whole putting up antennas thing, but I did put up the first semi permanent wire antenna. I had a one that I just sort of slapped up beforehand and didn't do anything special with it. But this one, I used that silicone self-amalgamating tape you're talking about, the stuff you stretch and you wrap. And I like it because it doesn't have the black adhesive that the electrical tape has. So if I want to remove it, I'll be able to cut it off without leaving the residue behind that electrical tape would otherwise leave. And as you said, with the stretch and the pulling it around, it eventually forms basically a coating that is impermeable to water. So that's what I like about it, and that's what I put on the outside connector into the balun for the NFED half wave that I put up. So in my limited experience, that's the stuff that I liked. Also, I heard about Greg was talking about that glue line heat shrink. I have a plan eventually on this NFED to add a segment with a loading coil to add 80 to it. And so I've built the balun for that, untested, but it's basically a piece of a 2-inch plumbing pipe, drainage pipe with transformer wire around it. And so my plan is to get a big piece of heat shrink, and if I can get it that big with glue in it, that's great. Otherwise, hot glue inside and heat shrink that up to seal that up, because I'm a little concerned that putting that coil up in the air maybe won't weather so well. Anyways, that's my plan so far. And as the weather gets warmer, I'm hoping to get out there and improve that part of my station. And just a really quick note, right now on 7160, it's at 40 meters, there is the Lancaster special call is taking check-ins. Anyways, I'll send it back to you, VE3ZOE.
Yeah, thanks, Wade. Yeah, actually, I did pick them up before I start the net here. Yes, one of the things that I also have to check, and I should have mentioned before, with the fan dipole, I have a choke that's, it's about, I guess about 10 inches long. It wasn't homemade. It was bought in I think by MFJ. It has the beads in it, and then below that, obviously, so I have the fan dipole, a very short lead running to the choke, and then my normal coax. One of the things I did do is I tied off on the bottom lead coming up there is the same, when I say rope, a heavy paracord. Then on the actual choke itself has a piece of paracord, and then I actually tied that to the bottom of my fan dipole, taking the weight off of the actual main cable running to the bottom of the actual of the choke. I didn't want everything kind of just pulling straight down, so I've actually want to check that also to make sure that actual paracord hasn't stretched a bit and is putting too much strain on the main feed.
Yeah, roger that. These things can get to have quite a weight load on them, and it's probably best to isolate that from where you're sending your signals for sure. This balun, this loading coil, I guess it's not technically a balun. It's a loading coil for putting 80 on the NFED. The way that I set it up is it's basically the former for the coil is 2-inch. Actually, sorry, it's not 2-inch. It's 1.5-inch black drainage pipe, but with end caps that I screwed on, and then I put eyelets in the end. So the idea is going to be that I'll use the paracord you're talking about to connect it to insulators that connect it to the radiator, the 4 through 10 NFED. And then there's wires that stick out, and I will make those electrical connections to that element separate from the structural connection under tension. So that's the plan. When I get out there and try it, we'll see how well it works. I'll report back. Anyways, thanks. Thanks for the reminder about the structural for this stuff too, keeping it off the feed line. Good info. VE3ZOE.
Well, I think that's what it's all about, Wade. It's like you said, going out there and trying to see if it's going to work or not. And you know what? If it half works, then it's half good. If it all works, it's perfect. But there's always something to tinker with ham radio, and I think that's what makes it interesting. So, anything else, Wade, before I pass it down?
No, Roger on all that stuff, the tinkering and everything. So I'll let you pass it on down. Thanks, Larry.
Comment. Yep, okay, just one copy. Hang on 1 second for comment. And, or sorry, go ahead. Yeah, I think that was Greg in there. Go ahead. Excuse me. Comment?
Yeah, VE3ZOE, let you know it's marine grade electric drink that you have as the marine line, it's called, and you can get up to very large diameter of 1.5 to 2 inch. Don't goes much further than that with the marine blue drink.
Yeah, I think you're passing that to Wade, are you not?
Yep, just a little, tidbit. Thinking it is marine grade, that it's the glue.
Roger, I think I got most of that. Greg, thanks for the info. I think there's a little bit of QRM keying up on you, and maybe your distance isn't holding the repeater in against that. But I think you were saying that about the 1.5 to 2 inch you can get the glue line. Was there a source for that? Over.
Yeah, you can get it from Amazon. Just make sure it's marine grade. It has to be marine grade. The glue line.
Roger that, the marine grade. Thank you. 3 NCA.
Maybe somebody else heard that. It's marine grade. Grade as grade boats.
Yeah, no problem at all, Greg. Yeah, okay, got it all there. All right, VA3 FTT. All right, VA3 NCA, VE3 LBI. All right, I'm going to pass it down the list here. VA3CP, go ahead, please.
Good evening, Larry. VA3CP, David Hamilton. And I totally agree with you about the black tape. A total no-no for putting, using up against the connectors as far as I'm concerned. The stuff, with the heat, the adhesive on it always seems to get soft, and the little stretch that you do to wind it around the coax or whatever, it slides and makes a gooey, ugly mess. So I'm totally with you about using the butyl rubber tape or whatever it is, and I think the stuff I use is Scotch 130C. And another thing about when you're winding tape, I do use the black electrical tape over top of good quality black electrical tape over top of the rubber. Is always remember to wind the tape from the bottom up. That way the overlaps are such that it'll shed the water.
Yes, absolutely, Dave. Yes, the stuff I have here, as a matter of fact, while you were talking, I just stuck it, or reached in the other room and grabbed it. This is called Professional Fast Seal. It is trademarked. It's a self-sealing, self-fusing silicone tape, rubber silicone, auto sealant, no, hang on, but I'm trying to see, I guess, I'm not who makes it, it just says professional. I'm not sure what it's, Fast Seal, yes, it's called Professional, that's what trademarked. And it actually comes from the home hardware store, St. Jacobs, so I guess that's distributed.
Yeah, well, I'm sure there's multiple locations or multiple manufacturers of that stuff. But I guess the idea is to make sure that it does provide a waterproof seal. And I found that stuff does last for a long, long time. I agree with putting a little bit of lubricant on the threads, silicone grease or something like that, just a wee bit, and making sure that you wrap the connector fully with the waterproof tape. Anyway, that's my little bit about that, Larry. V3LBI, VA3CP.
Yeah, okay, VA3CP, VE3LBI. I'm just reading something here. Let me see. Tape, when fused to itself for 24 hours at room temperature, wrap the tape 6 or 7 times for a pressure repair, up to 700 pounds per square inch. Wow, that's pretty heavy duty.
Yeah, sounds like it. And I've used the glue-lined heat shrink, which I got out at sale.
to repair the traps on an R5 antenna, and that's something else. Any of the guys with beam antennas that have traps with the plastic black plastic caps on the end, they need to be looked at every once in a while because they do split and you get spiders and all that kind of stuff inside them.
Yeah, would that shorten your antenna or make it longer, Dave? If you had a spider inside.
Makes it look too bad.
Would that be a spider antenna?
There was such thing as a spider antenna.
I know, that's why I'm saying that, because that's what John was talking about last night, about his. So, anyways, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, anyway, that's about all I've got to say on that subject at the moment that I can think of. Like I say, I always use the rubberized self-amalgamating tape or whatever the heck it is, and then I wrap the black vinyl tape around it, good quality electric tape. I guess it's not necessary, but I do it anyway, just to add an additional coat.
Nope, absolutely. All right, and then before I see if anybody else is around.
No, I think that's about it, Larry. So carry on, VE3LBI, VE3CP.
Yep, okay, thanks, Dave, VE3CP. Anybody else want to join in to the Friday night ZOE Rag 2? Please come forward.
VE3PDO.
Okay, we got PDL there. Anybody else want to join into the ZOE Rag 2? Come forward, please.
VE3ZOE.
Okay, you're a little too quick for me. I didn't catch that. A call sign again, please.
Victor Echo 3, Zulu, November Oscar.
And can I get your first name, please?
Yes, Paul, I'm in Welland.
I think you said Paul, is that right?
Yeah, Roger, Paul, and I'm in Welland.
Okay, I got you, Welland. Okay, thanks. And are you base station there?
Yeah, that's correct. The repeater's only hitting me like a fraction of an S unit, so I'm on the fringe here, it seems.
Okay, no problem. All right, I was going to pass it over. Paul, can I pass it over to ZOE first, or ZON first, Paul, in case he loses us with the repeater?
Absolutely, sir. I'll stand by. VE3PDO.
Okay, thank you. VE3ZNO, I'll get it right yet. It's Victor Echo 3, Lima, Bravo, India. It's Larry and Hamilton. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, well, thanks, Larry. You know, I'm just checking in. I see you're running a net. I have checked into this repeater in the past on occasion, and it's hit me a little better than it is doing tonight, unfortunately. But I'm just checking in to give you a bean in the pot. I don't particularly have anything to say or add to the conversation. So back to you, VE3ZNO.
Okay, well, no problem, Paul. Yeah, it's a wide open. I started this up, actually, the other fellows in there, PDL, him and I kind of talked about it. Just kind of get a Friday night going and, it's kind of boredom and all the rest of it. So we just kind of opened up a little bit of a net, and we called it the ZOE Rag 2. So you're quite welcome to put any comments in. We're just talking about, I call it spring cleaning, checking your antennas after the winter time, whether it's a mobile or your base antennas, making sure the coax looks good, the connectors, all your connections look tight, especially your cables and everything. We've had pretty rough winter, heavy windstorms, so back over to you, VE3ZNO.
Yeah, no, roger that. I have some work to do myself. I have on HF, I have a one-to-one Ballon. It's a fan antenna. I'm sure everyone knows what a fan antenna is, with all the various elements cut to the band. And I sort of whipped it up pretty quickly in the fall there. And I heard a conversation earlier about a coax wrap, and I didn't apply. I have, but I didn't apply any because I thought it was just going to be temporary, or at least for a short term until I got back to it to do it properly. And then it snowed like crazy, and I kind of left it up there hanging off my eaves trough. But it's worked for me all winter. But as far as the topic of the conversation, I'm going to have to get back up there any time now and pull it down. It's just a matter of going up a short ladder and pulling it off the eaves trough and taking it apart, cleaning it up, drying it out, and putting some wrap on it.
Well, like they say, Paul, it's not the radio that makes the station; it's the antenna. So the maintenance to it, and again, like I say, over the winter time with the heavy winds we've had, you had them your way too. I know we've been back in town here. I'm up on the Hamilton Mountain, the east end of it, and I think the max we had was about 45 miles an hour, which is pretty heavy, strong. And I have a fan dipole also up, and it took some beating. It stayed up, fortunately, but I'm still going to drop it and just check my connections and everything. And and like I say, it's almost spring coming up shortly, and it's always like to do it nicer to do it in a little bit warmer temperature than it is in the freezing winter. And of course, normally if an antenna is going to quit, it will be in the freezing winter time. VE3ZOE, VE3LBI, go ahead.
No, I copy that. In my case, what happened is that my rather ancient fence that I share with my neighbor behind me took a beating in the wind, and a lot of the 4x4 posts now have rotted off. And on one side of the fan dipole, I had connected to the fence, or terminated the fence with some rope, and well, the fence kind of half flew over. So I had to move it from one fence post that it flew off to another that stayed up. And so yeah, no, I've got work to do both on my antenna and the fence that it's connected to. So I copy that. VE3ZOE now.
Well, just make sure that one post that you put up for the fence, about 12 feet, and you have a good spot in a 6x6. You have a good spot to make that antenna hook to.
No, copy that. In fact, you mentioned 6x6. The neighbor and I spoke late last fall, and we both recognized the decrepit state of the 4x4 fence. It's got to be, well, I mean, I built it, and then the neighbor moved in quite after the fact, but I built it probably 17 years ago. So it's lasted 17 years, and now the fence posts are rotting off and blowing over in the wind. So you mentioned 6x6. That's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to spend the big bucks, I guess, and have somebody come in and put the 6x6 posts in, and then we're going to take the fence pieces that used to go between the 4x4s and trim them a little bit and slap them on the 6x6 when we get a chance in the spring here.
Nope, sounds like a good idea, but like I said, make sure you get one extra length. One you're going to put up about 12 feet, 6x6 by 12 feet, so you can tie off that one to the dipole to it, the fan dipole. That's what you need. So VE3ZOE, VE3LBI.
Yeah, no, I copy that. Before I do that, I think you're saying that as a bit of a joke, because I share that fence with the neighbor behind me. I don't think he wants a 6x6 by 12 in the air when everything else will be like 8. But no, before I do that, I'll move the leg from the fence to my tool shed, which would get it about 10 feet off the ground if I had to guess at the peak.
Tar the bottoms of the post before you put them in the ground too, VA3CP.
Did you copy that, Paul?
I heard everything after what he said. He said something before I put him in the ground. I missed everything before that.
Make sure you put tar on the waterproofing. I put tar on mine before I put them in the ground, and they've lasted a lot longer than 17 years.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying, and I may do something like that when I speak to the neighbor. But I'm only going to be in this house for another year and a half, so I kind of have an inclination to say that it'll be the next guy's problem. But no, I do understand that. You can either do that, or you can have a little fire going and you can burn the outside edges of it. That preserves it as well.
Okay, anything else there, Paul, VE3ZOE, before I pass it along?
Negative. No, I just cut it in here and just throwing a bean in your pot, and I'll listen for a while here, so carry on with your net, VE3ZOE.
Okay, no problem. You're welcome to join in anytime, like I say. Okay, Paul, VE3PDL, thanks for standing by. Go ahead.
Okay, Larry, thank you, sir. Just being in the pot like everybody else there, and as you know, in the wind there, the recent wind we had, I lost 2 of my antennas. Well, one I can't use. I have to totally fix it. The other one just blew down about 20 feet, so it's much lower to the ground, a different angle of radiation and everything, but I got to fix that up too. neither one's very hard, but yeah, I got 2 or 3 to tend with when the weather's nice.
Well, I think we're all waiting for that. I don't know. Matter of fact, what is the temperature? Oh, see, it's just down. I just got 33 degrees Fahrenheit now, and it was 35 about, well over an hour ago. So I'm not sure whether it's snowing out. We're going to get that. They call for a bit of a snowstorm tonight, 1 to 2 inches, and I don't know if we're supposed to be going to bypass this. I hope it does.
I was just looking out my front window here as you were talking, and the snow has stopped. There's a little bit of blowing snow, like the stuff that's stuck to the top wire. That's blowing off now, but yeah, I think we're done for now anyway.
Recheck. Yep, okay, no problem. Recheck, go ahead, please.
Yeah, it's Paul VE3ZOE. I can tell you that here in Welland, we've got about, I would estimate it to be about 2.5, maybe 3 inches on the ground. So we're getting hit harder than I guess you guys in Hamilton.
Definitely, yeah. That's a VE3. I'll be right back to you, Larry. Yeah, we were supposed to get, I think 1 to 2 inches tonight, more tomorrow, but as the other gentleman says, and he's on the mountain too, it looks like it's kind of stopped here, so it could be going around us, which wouldn't surprise us at all. Lake Ontario sometimes has a crazy effect on our weather.
Yeah, roger that. A northeast wind will nail Hamilton badly, and quite frequently the Niagara Peninsula as well, where I am. I'm in Welland, again, as I mentioned earlier. Anyway, sorry, just wanted to let you know on the snow report there. So back to the net, VE3ZOE.
Yeah, okay, Paul, no problem at all. No, appreciate it. So, okay, back to you, PDL. So I guess, I don't know whether you've been listening along. I've been talking about coax connectors and winter conditions and all the rest of it. Anything you thought about other than fixing things? You have to check into your coaxes for connections and make sure that the actual coating for sealing them has not become loose or any reason, any damage from the winter.
Well, I did. I've got lots of coax, so what I did is the stuff that's not being used, I redid all the ends on it. I used heat shrink on it to seal them up good till I get them in the air, and I'm gonna, when I tinker with the antennas that I gotta fix, I'm gonna replace the coax with the other stuff that I got here, LMR 400. And yeah, because it's all ready to go up, and then when I pull down the 213 that's up there now, I'll redo all the ends on that, and then I got some more coax in case of emergencies. But yeah, I use a little bit of the electrical tape. I should use the better stuff, but then I coat it with that liquid electrical tape. I kind of cover it up with that stuff and seal everything up with that. So that seems to be doing okay so far.
I see a lot of people have different ideas and what how they do it, and I guess nobody has the perfect solution. It's a matter if it works and you don't have an issue with it. So, and I'm sure that I've actually put some of the liquid tape on there on one of my connections. For some unknown reason, I got a bubble in it, and the bubble actually let water in. And I had coated it at least twice, but there happened to be a bubble, and why it happened, I don't know. And when I took it apart, I mean, it didn't do any damage or anything. But the other thing that'd be interesting too, Paul, is when you take your take those coax down, change the ends, you just have a look at it and see how much it actually has been corroded up. Whether it's 2 inches or 3 inches, just because of where it connects and the air gets to it.
Yeah, you get the corrosion from the two different metals touching to the ground against the connector itself, and it turns that bluish turquoise. I don't know if that's the right name for the color I'm thinking, but you know what I mean, that greenish bluish mold looking color. So yeah, I always cut an inch or something off the end, make sure I'm dealing with the good braid and the good center core.
Yep, no, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Anything else, Paul, before I see if anybody else is here?
No, sir. Take her away. Thanks for picking me up, and I'll be listening along. VE3PDL, back to net.
Yeah, okay, thanks. VE3PDL, VE3 LBA. Anybody else want to join into the Friday night ZOE Rag 2? Please come forward. All right, try one more time. Anybody else want to join into the Friday night ZOE Reg Tube? Come ahead. All right, then, let's run it up to the top of the list. VE3GNP. Garnett, you still with us?
Yes, sir. I'm still here, VE3GNP. Just listen along, Larry.
Yep, any comments or anything? Anything that you found interesting towards what everybody's been talking about? And again, like I said, nobody's right, nobody's wrong. It's just how they do it and the results.
Of course, I'm obviously right. My way is the right way. No, I was quite interested. Yeah, it was good, the different ideas that people got.
Yep, okay, Garnett, no problem. Well, thanks for being with us tonight. VE3GMP, VE3LBI, VA3VAD, are you still with us, RPAD?
Yes, sir, I'm still here, and, yep, not that much comment, as I mentioned, you know, like, I use, electric tape first, then liquid rubber on the top, and, I think that's good, you know, never had any issues, never had any leakages, and, yep, no, you want to take the electric tape on it first. You want to put the electric tape on it because some people, what they do, they just paint over with the liquid tape, and good luck to take that off. It's going to take forever. Now, when you put the electric tape on it and you want to remove it, you just peel it off and it breaks right off.
Oh, trust me, I've used the electric tape, and I still got a couple of connectors out there with directly to it. And yes, it does take a little bit of an effort to get it off, although it can be done. And I actually haven't tried something. I never tried putting a heat gun to it to warm it, but I have been able to slit it enough that I can sort of peel it off, but it still has a residue, or not a residue. There is some of it definitely doesn't want to come off. But something I haven't tried is a heat gun with a low heat to see if I can warm it up and try to take it off that way when I have to.
Yeah, roger that. And, actually, you can use that acetone. Acetone would be good. I always have like a liter. I buy it at Canadian Tire. It costs you like $3 for a liter. It's not that expensive. And I don't know why they're selling to the ladies this the same acetone. It's a small package, costs you like $4 or $5, and there's nothing in it. You can buy a liter for $3 at Canadian Tire. It's the same stuff. I use that for everything, actually. I'm diabetic, right? And I have one of these little patch thing, what I have to put on my body all the time. And I used to use alcohol because that's what the doctor says. Yeah, you clean your body with the alcohol, put the patch on, but this patch stays on for 10 days. And actually, it kept falling off all the time, peeled off when I used alcohol. Now, I switched, instead of alcohol, I use acetone, clean my body with the acetone first, clean all the grease off, and never the patches never coming off. So yeah, if you guys need to clean something, yeah, be careful because plastic can be melted by acetone. But yep, any metallic parts or whatever you want to clean, that's what I use. I always have a liter handy.
Yes, as a matter of fact, I have some in the garage, and I've used it quite a bit for cleaning things. I've never cleaned it. I've never tried using it on any type of electrical parts, but I guess it would probably, as long as there's no residue, and I think that's the biggest thing. Any type of residue, we use alcohol, isopropylene alcohol, but it's not pure. And one of the things you can note that after you put it on something, and mostly if it's the easiest way to see actually is something black. If you put a bit of that alcohol on there, you look at it, there's like a white residue. It's not pure, absolute pure alcohol, even though it's isopropylene. So there's something in it. I don't remember what it was now. I've forgotten it. One of the fellows told me when I worked at this absolute, well, I say absolute, almost pure alcohol to clean a lot of the equipment because there was a residue left.
Yeah, I think the best what you can buy is 90%. That's what I have here. I have some alcohol here. I have an alcohol sprayer and 50%. When you replacing something like on a radio, like a little board or something, you want to use the highest alcohol content as possible. So yeah, she did find 90% alcohol, and that's what. And I think it's working just fine. It doesn't leave any residues that much.
You know, there's quite a few substitutes out there for things, and like the acetone and all the rest of it. And I'm trying to think what I put in, something I built here. I can't think what it was, but maybe when you have a liquid, hang on, it'll come back to you. Maybe, I'll stop for a minute now. Maybe I'll mention it again, but I've forgotten what it was now. Anyways, okay. Anything else on that before I pass it down?
Yeah, just, and it's called isopropyl alcohol, 100%. So that's what I use. And complaining. I never tried to drink it. Hey, maybe mix it up with Coca-Cola and have a good night. I don't know. All right, Larry. Thank you very much for running the net. And yeah, I guess I'm going to take off and have an ice cream maybe.
Yep. Okay. Well, driving, be safe. The weather conditions aren't the greatest out there. They're starting to drop down. Like I said, it's down to actually just gone down to 32. So that is freezing. So if you're going to drive any place, just be careful on the roads. VE3CP. Yeah, go ahead, Dave. VE3CP.
Yeah, our bad inflation has taken place on that acetone. It's up to $10, 478 mils. So you must have bought it a long time ago if it was $3.
You know what? I buy a liter. That's good for a couple of years, and I'm hardly using it. And I guess you can get high from it. Yeah, I'm not sure. Actually, I told Kathy, my wife, I need some of that alcohol, and I was going to go to Canadian Tire. And yeah, she made a comment. She ordered one from the internet, but through her company, I believe. And even she made a comment. It's not like $3 anymore. So yeah, my information probably I would say like 3-4 years old, 5 years old even.
Yeah, that makes sense. Anyway, 1 liter today is $11.99 at Canadian Tire. Probably the same price at Home Depot. Okay, have my piece there. VE3LVI, VE3CP.
Well, I was going to mention to you then, Dave, before you go, Arpad, just 1 second. VE3CP. You remember the swabs we used to get from IBM? What were they? That was in alcohol, right?
Yeah. No, we used to have alcohol in a bottle. Used to get the 91% or something like that alcohol we used to use and put the swabs into that.
No, that one didn't leave a residue, did it?
No. And when they say 91% alcohol, that means 91% and 9% deep distilled water, I believe.
Yeah, okay, because I was trying to think. I know there's some. And the reason I'm mentioning it is Arpad mentioned he said he had some that was 91%. And I know some of the isopropylene you can buy at the drugstore. And that residue, you're right, it is water. Because, yeah, it's left over after it dries. So your 91% isopropylene alcohol property, Arpad, is probably pretty clear.
Yeah, I have 2 of them here. One of them is in a spray, and one of them is a 1 liter package. And yeah, the spray one is 50%. It says alcohol, whatever it's in French, I don't know, ethyl alcohol, 50% with Camphor. I don't know what that is. I don't speak French or whatever. I don't know what that is. With Camphor. I don't know what that is. But anyways, yeah, one of them is 50%, and the second one, which comes in a package like it's a 91%. And what I do is use a 91% and just put it in the sprayer. And if I need to clean something, hey, it's perfect for my phone. I spray it with my phone, and I use a towel to clean it off. And it's like brand new, all the greasy fingerprints. And on the ICOM 7100, you always have some fingerprints on the radio, and I clean the screen with that.
Oh, okay, yeah, all right, good idea. All right, well, listen, you're going to run, go for an ice cream. So like I said, be careful if you're going to do that, especially if you're going to drive. So VA3VAD, VE3LBI.
Oh, I got ice cream done in the kitchen. Yep, in the freezer.
Oh, you're going to get the wife to make a banana split.
She bought 3 boxes, different kinds. So nobody knows. She bought them. I put it in the big freezer what the kids are never opening, and I already ate 1 box. Nobody knew.
Good idea.
All right, 73. Good net. Talk to you guys later.
All right, thanks, RPAD, for being there. VA3, VE3LBI. All right, VA3 FGT. Greg, you're up. Are you still in there, Greg? VA3 FGT. Give you the last call here. Well, maybe he'll come back around. He's a grandfather now, so he's got other duties. VA3 NCA. Wade, you're up.
VE3LBI, VA3 NCA. Yeah, thanks, Larry. I'll say 73s. There isn't much more to add. I will mention, in case people, I mentioned it in RPAD's net there earlier, and if people are interested, try it out. There is a QSO Today Ham Expo going on this weekend. It's pretty inexpensive. It looks like it's $10 US. There's lots of presentations and other things. It's basically a virtual expo, virtual ham expo going on. And looks like you also get months of access to the recordings of all the presentations if you miss any on the weekend. So if you're interested, if anybody's interested, yeah, the website's QSO Today Ham Expo, all one word, .com. Anyways, I'll send it back to you. 73s, everybody. Good night. Larry, thanks.
Yep. Did anybody want that repeated, or did everybody get it that was interested, what Wade was just talking about?
Yeah, repeat it again, please, Wade. VE3 PDO.
Roger, yeah, it's QSO, QSO Today Ham Expo, all one word, .com. So it's a long one, but QSO Today Ham Expo.com. Roger?
Roger that, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you much. VE3 PDO.
Okay, thanks, Wade. VE3 NCA, thanks for joining us tonight. VE3LBI. I'm not sure if you're going to listen along for a bit longer. It's I got 9:22 here, so it's not that late. Anyways, all right, we'll pass it back down to VA3CP. Go ahead, Dave.
Okay, Larry. V3LBI, VA3CP. Yeah, just looking on Amazon, and that isopropyl alcohol is available in 99.9% as well. And I have 99.9 downstairs. I think we ended up getting 4 bottles in a box from Costco. It was relatively cheap. Now I use the 70% stuff for thinning some of the acrylic paints for my model railroading stuff for the airbrush, and I usually use the 99% stuff for cleaning because there's, like I said, there's no residue. Anyway, all right. So that's about it. I don't think there's anything else I need to add. I don't remember any other questions around that. VE3LBI, VA3CP.
Yes, the downstairs, the forbidden zone.
What about it? Yeah, I can't go there yet.
That's what I mean, the forbidden zone. So, anyways, looks like the weather's clearing up too. So I don't think we're going to get that all that snow they talked about for you for tomorrow.
Well, that'd be good. I don't want snow when I'm trying to hobble over to the doctor's office.
No, you're just going to have to watch that the temperature doesn't drop. Right now, I'm just looking at it. It is 32 degrees outside, so you may have to get a little bit of salt down before you take off. But any luck, it'll maybe warm up a little bit in the morning, or at least it'll be a little brighter. You can see what's going on.
Yeah, I think it's going to be -5 still, or -4 at 9 o'clock, so that's not going to help me any.
Well, you have to put the snow tires on then.
I do that anyway, but they're still slippery on ice.
That's true. Yes, we can't run things anymore. Anyways, VA3CP, VE3LBI. All right, let's go to VE3ZOE. You still in there, Paul? VE3LBI.
Yeah, I'm still listening, VE3ZOE. I got 2 points to add. I've only been in here for a while, so I don't know if the first one was to I have, I bought at Radio World when I bought this radio, this FT991 Alpha that I'm talking about. I bought some coax wrap as well for some cable work I wanted to do. He said that that stuff is chew that up, and you're supposed to wrap it. Once you put the coax wrap down, you're supposed to wrap it in electrical tape, so that the electrical tape protects the coax wrap from the sun. So that's what I did, for better or for worse, when I put a few things together, and I'll drop it. And then the second point I'll add is just for information purposes. I don't know how well Niagara Falls UHF repeater will hit Hamilton area, which is where I'm talking to, of course, right now. But every Thursday night at about 7:30 p.m., there's a repeater in Niagara Falls, 442-900, with a 107.2 active zone. They run a swap net in there, and it's just a regular net, but in amongst the regular net, there's a swap net. So if anyone wants to buy or list for sales and things, I'll offer that up as information every Thursday night at 7:30, 442-900, Niagara Falls, 107.2. Back to the net, VE3ZOE.
Yeah, I'll just make a note of it to make sure I had it there, Paul. So 442 and 900 at 9:30 on Thursday nights, right?
Negative. Thursday night, 7:30. 7:30.
QSL, 7:30. Okay, I made note of it, and yep, if anybody's interested, then we'll pass it along. So, yeah, the black tape again. I'm not a fan of it. I'm not sure. You bought this wrap, you said, from Radio World, and what is it called? What was it called? Coax wrap?
Correct. I asked for coax wrap. I was given coax wrap. I don't have it in front of me, so I can't quote exactly what's on the wrapping around the wrap, so to speak, to tell you what it is. But it's coax wrap. I bought it from Canadian Tire, from Radio World in Toronto, there where everyone goes to buy stuff. And anyways, when I bought it, I thought, well, I'm going to learn about this stuff. And of course, the first thing you do is go online. And then I talked to an old ham in Niagara here as well. But online there was a video that said that stuff gets chewed up by the sun, and then once you put it on, you should wrap it in just plain old electrical tape. So you put the coax wrap first, and then electrical tape on top to protect the coax wrap from the sun's rays.
Well, like I said, I'm not a fan of black tape, and only for the fact if you actually put it in the sun, it will. If you've ever seen it done, it dries out. It dries out and cracks. As simple as that. That's what happens to it. The sun burns it up. And what you're talking about, I would personally, this is my personal opinion, I would take a look at this self-sealing. It's called Fast Seal. Canadian Tire sells it. Home Depot sells it. Home Hardware sells it. It's a self-sealing. What it is, it's a silicone tape, and the instructions state on the back of it that you need to stretch it 3 times its length. So if you take off 1 inch, you need to stretch it 3 times. So it's actually 3 to 4 times. And then once you put that on, it actually self-seals.
Yeah, it could be the very same stuff. And I probably paid extra money buying it at Radio World, I'm sure, over Canadian Tire or Home Hardware. But it is coax wrap, and it's made specifically to, like if you're going to obviously put a connector, a PL239 or Type N or whatever the heck it was on the end of a piece of coax, you would wrap the everything, but of course the business end of the connector, you'd wrap that right partway down the coax to seal that connection so that water doesn't get into it. And if you were going to a drum connector to a female to female to, for whatever reason, put 2 cables together, then you'd wrap it the entire length across the connection. And anyways, that's I think it's the same stuff. Yeah, you pull it, when I put it on, you pull the crap out of it, and you stretch it, in other words, and you wrap it on there tight, and then apparently that stuff, for whatever reason, doesn't make sense to me. You'd think that if you're going to make that stuff as a manufacturer, that you'd make it UVA and UVB resistant. But I was told, no, you got to wrap it in just plain old electrical tape to protect
to know. Make sure when you do it, you start from the bottom up. You never start from the top. You wrap from the coax up to the PL259, not from the PL259 down.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. It's like shingling a roof. You don't start at the top and work down. You start at the bottom and you work up. No, I understand completely. No, that makes sense.
Yep, no, okay, good. All right, anything else? Like I say, it's open. Any other comments or anything?
Negative, just a reminder every Thursday night. I don't run the net. It's someone else that runs the net, but just FYI, in case the 442-900 signal, it's a pretty decent repeater. It might make its way to the mountain in Hamilton. I don't know about down below. You might lose it down below, but it would probably make it to the top of the mountain there in Hamilton. And 442-900 Thursday night, 7:30. They run a swap net and a regular check-in net there.
Oh, okay, well, I don't know. Do you use Facebook at all?
Oh, I do, but only, that's not even my real name. I don't have any proper information in there. I just have an account to read other people's stuff, mostly.
Well, if you're interested, we have one that one of the fellows runs the net on Thursday night, a simplex net here in Hamilton. If you're interested, it's called the A-Reg. If you look up A-Reg, it'll come up, and you can join it. It's like we try to talk more about radio stuff and things, and odds and ends like this, like 442-900 offsets, and add stuff like that into it. But it's called the A-Reg. It's on. Well, he runs it on. Lost what frequency it is. Paul, help me out here. PDL, what frequency is it? 43. What is it? I've lost it.
146, 430.
And that's on Wednesday nights from 8 o'clock until 9 or 10 o'clock. But this one here, we just kind of started up on a Friday night for fun.
No, I copy all that. I wrote down that stuff. I think I have checked into this net before. That's my first time, but I'm not a regular check-in for sure. So, anyways, it's been a great chat here, and I've learned a little bit, and hopefully I've passed along some information other people didn't know, and that's what it's all about. VE3ZOE.
No, and appreciate that, Paul. Yep, and like you say, there's always something to be learned, especially in the ham stuff. But if somebody knows it all, they're no longer alive because they always learned it all before they died and kept it with them. So that's all I can say. VE3ZOE, VE3OBI. Thanks for joining in.
Yep, take care. Good night.
All right, 7-3. VE3PDL, your turn. Go ahead. Thanks.
All right, Larry, yeah, still here. I think I'm going to bow out, though, and watch a little bit of the tube and see what old Putin's up to today. So I guess I'll say 7-3 to everybody, and good net there, and we'll be here for the next one. Back to you, Larry, VE3PDL.
Yep, VE3PDL, VE3LBI. Yeah, thanks for joining in, Paul. I think we're going to wrap it up. I'm going to take a quick run back up and see if, I'll check to see if there's more, but I'll run back up here. VE3FGT, are you still in there, Greg, or are you back, or what's going on, buddy?
Oh, yeah, we just made it back. We put the granddaughter down, and we made it back to the radio just in time to say 7-3s for now for everybody, if that's what you're on, the 7-3 round. So, other than that, not much else to add. So, but excellent net tonight there, Larry. So, we'll let it go back to you, VA3FGT.
Yep, no, I called for you. We're just doing a 7-3 round here, and as you know, even though we wrap it up, then we just turn it back and kind of if anybody wants to join in after. So, like I said, just kind of keep the airwaves alive on a Friday night there, Greg. Anyways, VA3FGT, thanks for joining us, VE3LBI. Everybody else want to join into the Friday night ZOE Reg too before we kind of close her up?
You coming back here later, Larry, VA3CP?
Oh, too quick. What was that, Dave?
You coming back here after you go outside?
Oh, yeah, I'll sit back here for a bit. I'll just give me a couple minutes and I'll close her up here. All right, last call. Anybody else wants to join into the ZOE Friday night Reg 2? Come now. All right, well, thanks everybody for joining in. Kind of an interesting conversation tonight. and I think everybody kind of enjoyed it. Everybody's different sides and ideas, so that's what makes it all worthwhile. Anyways, okay, before we actually wrap her up, I'll say thank you again for to Terry, VE3IQL, for the use of the ZOE repeater. Working quite well, and we've been using it for quite a while now, and not just myself, but other people too, and it has quite a good coverage. Thanks again, Terry. So I guess we'll turn the repeater back over to normal use, and I'll be back probably in about 5 minutes or so. VE3 LBI.
73, Larry, have a good night. VE3
Yep, okay, Garnett, thanks for joining in.
73, guys. Victor Alpha 3, Victor Alpha Delta, we'll be clear.
Yep, thanks, Arpad.
73 and good night. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Larry, for running the net.